Hey, what's up, everyone? Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikka Draziv, guys. Welcome to the show. If you're watching us from YouTube, do comment, like, share, and subscribe. Your first time here. And yes, what an awesome show we have today. Like, days, just fly by. Every week we are here, but it looks like maybe a few days or few hours that we have been last time doing the podcast. So, yeah, time's flying, guys. Looks like someone is controlling the clock above. All right. Oh, yeah. Before we jump into the show, just wanted to say that maybe in a couple of weeks we will be doing our show at 8 p.m. CST. Gene and all the people who has been listening to us these years know that during the summer I have a different working timetable. So that would be around 8 p.m. CST. Could be in the second or third week, don't know, but yeah, we will keep people updated. And the other thing I wanted to mention that in the description you have the two links from Gene and me from Kofi. Anybody wants to support us, right? So there's a link there. And yes, let's jump in with our co-host and brother all the way from New York, my brother Gene. How are you, brother Gene?
Hey, what's up, brother? Doing great, man. Yeah, right, bro. What about time? I have mentioned that a lot, bro, but it's like I can't believe it's near the end of April already. I'm just kidding. This is June 2nd. Wow. It's funny. Sometimes the days can last a long time, but still the years go fast. So, like, right, time's a big illusion, you know. Good show, guys. We missed someone else had to cancel tonight, so it's life is a busy place. We respect that, and we're looking forward to making up that date with Eric, and that'll happen soon. So he's going to be a great guest. Looking forward to that. Right. So, bro, you got we're talking about Terrence Howard, right? As a plant. It's funny because I spent like all week outside with the plants. like in the garden, tending to stuff. I'm like, and now we got the show. So the irony of it is kind of funny. But I think it's a great topic to cover, bro. Current events always fun, right, guys? So hey, guys, sorry I didn't say hello yet. Hi to everybody in the chat. Welcome back, guys. Good to see you all. And I think yeah, the link is up if anybody wants to come up, hang out, and talk about what's going on with this guy on mostly Joe Rogan, but a lot of here and there. You hear a lot of little chitter chatter from this guy lately. So yeah, it'd be good to see you guys again. So come on up, guys. Welcome.
Oh yeah, brother, the timing, right? The timing is everything. So yeah, the link is there. We have an open mic even today for this topic. Anybody who have a different opinion or any opinion about today's topic about Terrence being a plant, Terrence being a false prophet, right? Terrence being a hero that everybody wants, right now to save humanity, and it's there. Flat earthers and globals are freaking out, right? So all that fun stuff, we'll try to break it down, and anybody wants to jump in and add is welcome. The link is above pinned. You don't have to do a video if you don't want to. You can only do an audio, but the link is there. So, Gene, I also saw you sharing that meme. When we need a hero, we will provide you with
Yeah,
one hero, right?
I did. Yeah, I made that. Just one of those things. Like I'm not on Facebook a lot or Instagram a lot. I go check in, say hi, talk to some people, but like to post stuff, I don't know. But that like occurred to me, and then I was like, oh, I got to make a meme for this because this is what's going on here, and that's just how I saw it. And then a lot of people started making memes. I was like, yeah, see. I knew it. This guy, you know what he does? It's like Joe Rogan is the controlled opposition where he's like letting these guys talk and brings you to a dead end. And then Terrence, what's his name? Howard, Terrence Howard. He's also the controlled opposition, you know. So I think that's really what they're going to do once he starts talking about um, the motion of galaxies and planetary systems through galaxies. I'm like, this is all terrible. You watch every single thing he says now. Because some of it's kind of cool. It's interesting. It's like, wow, what is he talking about? But I think he's being fed all that stuff. I really do.
Oh yeah,
But
it's yeah, the when he starts also with gravity not being real, right? And black hole not being real, right? It excites the flat earthers for sure, right? But then on the other
right,
hand, as you say, the universe and the planets and the galaxies moving, then we know that he's entering into fairy tale, right?
yeah, he's entering the Newtonian, Einsteinian gravity fields. He'll come up with the. Isn't there a new gravity now? I think is it quantum gravity? Oh man, anything quantum, I'm like, stop.
He's a hoax.
Yeah, you know, I don't get it, bro. The stuff you can't verify, can't, all you could do is believe these guys telling us. And like how their story changes is really cool. So what's guys like Neil deGrasse Tyson gonna have to say to this Terrence Howard guy kind of
Exactly.
thing, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Because even Billy Carson, he supports a lot Terrence Howard,
Right.
right? So that in itself
But
shows, right, where are these guys? Because they speak some truth, but that's what it's the deception is all about, right? A bit of truth and then off track, right?
fair Disneyland, right? But
Oh yeah.
I I happen to think that it's they're bringing him up to Joe Rogan status because of flat Earth, I bet you, and all the truth coming out, and it's just getting too big. So they like calling the audience, kind of. I think it's a big distraction, bro. I'd like to see how this all
Oh yeah,
unfolds.
it's a new way. Oh yeah, brother. The same Joe Rogan is now right now like the mainstream media for the Walker, right?
Yeah, right.
In a way, right?
Sure.
So it's a TV reality show, truth, deception, combination,
Yeah,
push, right?
sure is. And he's got his audience. So it's like I don't know what his audience is now.
Ex-
He's got a lot of people,
Oh yeah, he's one of the biggest gatekeeper we have in recent times.
big
No
time,
one is
bro.
taking that away from him, right? Big time
Yeah.
gatekeeper. In real time, we've been seeing this guy, right?
Yep.
How he flips sides and what he does, right? So that's a real gatekeeper. And you have
Sure.
another gatekeeper now with him who comes from Hollywood, right? And he's not speaking something out of this world. There were people already speaking this shit long before him.
Right. Yeah. Talking about patents and stuff that he owns. He might own the patents, but I heard that he bought most of them. He didn't create them or anything. But
Exactly. Oh,
that guy was on a show. I'm pretty sure it was called Empire, and I think it was about the music scene, but I think it was like I guess like hip hop, maybe rap, or or maybe soul kind of music, almost like new Motown or something like some kind of that kind of genre of music. And I remember it being kind of I don't know, I guess brutal on what they did to each other and in their family to make moves and get things done in the company that they were creating called you know. So that's what I remember that guy in Hollywood for. That was a while back. And then all of a sudden, a few years ago, I saw him talking all this stuff, and he disappeared. Now he's back with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, coming from Hollywood, brother, it's all a show.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I mean, that's not to say we can't possibly learn stuff from it, but like proceed with caution, everybody. That's what I would do. A lot of people freaking out about what he's saying. A lot of people with big followings are like, "Whoa, listen to this guy." And I'm like,
Yeah,
not
but
so
that is the
fast,
plan,
guys.
brother. That is the plan. That is the plan. That all these people start, wow, like this is some new science, and we're gonna be like heading into the future. Nikola Tesla was
Yeah,
speaking about this. Walter Russell was speaking about this, and definitely there have to be more people speaking and researching about this, and they understand how the universe works, right? We know we have
sure.
covered Tesla so many times, right?
Yeah. They might even bring up guys like, like Eric Feynman and Dollard, you know, some of the
Exactly.
guys working on that what they would call pseudoscience, but it's the real science that those guys working on. And they're still
Exactly. And
ignoring it.
might of this, are we having a lag? Go ahead, Gene.
Sorry, bro. And there's still I haven't heard them talk about the Antikythera mechanism recently. Just saying, as we were filming and the release in the beginning of the documentary and the months before it, there was a lot of hype, a lot of talk about the Antikythera. Rogan was talking about it here and there with a few different people, but I'm just pointing out because it has like those highs and lows, and it's point of interest, come and go. People forget about what happened yesterday. I'm guilty too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know, keeping up with this stuff is like keeps the gears turning, man.
Oh yeah, we have the link right up there pinned in the chat. Anybody wants to jump in and add about this topic or anything is welcome. And this can be also thing, right? Same like Elon Musk can be another puppet in that sense, who's bringing new technology and new, right, or new patents, right? Some of these patents could be already owned by some rich people or the controllers, right?
Bro, that's a really good point because let's just make believe it is a big setup. Then the people who really own the patents just present it as his. They don't care. They're just, they're doing their part to keep this charade going. So they'll donate this,
Absolutely, brother.
right?
Hey guys, how's everything?
Good, good. How's it going,
Hey, what
brother?
up, Ironwork?
All right, I'm well, I'm well. Thanks for having me on, first of all. But you guys bring up a really, really good point. I'm trying to drive, but I can't type it at the same time. At least I could verbalize it.
Yeah.
The Antikythera mechanism, by the way, the Mechanical Realm, fantastic movie. I kind of talked highly about it, Vika. Awesome job. The Antikythera mechanism. There was a lot of news about it before the movie, but that's like I think that's a point you need to continue to kind of harp on because nobody's talking about it right now. Just like you mentioned, Joe Rogan was talking about it, and then as soon as you drop that movie, like dead silence, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The timing was
And even the
funny.
movie, even the movie Indiana Jones came out almost just before the release of the documentary.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The Dial of Destiny, I think it was, right? The last one, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Mm,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's divine timing, right? But
yep.
do you see
Yep.
Ironwork? They were so successful in keeping that in front of our faces and not letting know what the hell it was, right? You in the documentary you can see that that guy Graham Hancock. We don't know. We don't fully understand it, right? Why you don't fully
Hmm.
understand it, or you don't want to understand it, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And it takes guys like you did a lot of yeoman work putting that movie together and helping people, especially folks like me, which I've seen a little bit of info on the Antikythera mechanism, but I didn't fully understand as to all the things that it could do, right? I mean, but you did a lot of legwork in order to provide further information. And so, I mean, just that alone does wonders for getting the news out there. But you figured that they would use your information and kind of piggyback off of that, new discoveries and everything else. But there's nothing following up your movie. So that alone, I feel, is something that warrants further discussion and just a little bit more gunpowder behind it, just to put it out there, and so people could start talking about it even more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, brother, absolutely. That was the idea, right? About the whole documentary that the people see it and understand a bit and defend it, right? And
Yep.
put it ahead and spread it so that the people can understand the realm we live in, right? The mechanics
Yep.
governs this universe, this realm, right?
Yes.
They've been telling us Gleason was a chronologist, right? This is a scientific
Hmm.
instrument, right? It destroys the
Yes.
globe, right? It's a real machine, right? It's a cosmograph. It's a machine which anybody
That's
can
right.
make it if they have resources, right? It's
Right.
crazy. It's the people I know. People have hard time, but I like that what you said, right? It helps people understand, right? We all knew a bit about the Antikythera mechanism, and we all were intrigued a bit, but we never went into it, right? And see it and having it right in our face, and that
Yes.
really uh, like uh, like makes that cause and effort that went for good, right? That at least the people we in a way showed what is the real purpose is, right? And the real people who have researched and dedicated their life, they've been telling all their life that it's a geocentric machine, right?
Yep.
Who else you people want to hear it from than the people who have dedicated their life and they are saying it, that it's a beautiful simple maths and simple geometry that defines this realm. We are not a
Yep.
chaos pseudoscience, right? So absolutely, bro.
Yep. And to kind of jump off of what you just said, I feel that not only does it warrant a little bit more research, but even if we could find a model, you know what I'm saying? Even if we could find a model Antikythera, put it together and just lay it out there before the public and let people tinker with it, let people kind of play with it and figure it out. I mean, the possibilities with that alone would be endless. You just don't know what you come.
Exactly, brother. But this is the problem. It's possible, but the problem is that the community is looking somewhere else. That's the problem, right? We just need a bit of resource, not a lot. We just need a bit of resource. We can have the whole model. Like we would have, how do you say, the first piece or the first gadget, and we could have this that the people could have them in their houses to see and show to the
Yes.
people and use it. It's a real device. Use it, because astrolabe, compass, sextant, right? All these devices are real geocentric devices.
Yes.
So the Antikythera mechanism is our model, and it's possible
It
with few
is.
$1,000s. With few $1,000s, we could have our one, which after could be mass produced for the people, for the flat earthers. But to have it in a place as a working model, showing real observations in real time, calibrated to the local place,
Yes.
showing everything, eclipses, equinoxes, full moon, everything. But the
Yep.
problem is, I don't work. The problem is the community is too lost in even recognizing its potential, admitting it, and putting together forces to make this model happen. There's so much of information and research needs to be done on that to be shown, right, and used, right? But the people are putting the effort and resources in the wrong place.
The
Sorry
wrong
to say
places.
that. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Our team from the mechanical realm did everything so that the community knows what it is. That is our model. Now it's up to the community to take this ahead, to build it. It's not
Yep.
impossible to build it. For a few $1,000s, we have companies that can make it in the highest quality material of working, functioning stuff.
You know what? I think that's a phenomenal idea. That's something. Hey, look, I'll take my little lunch money and I'll put it towards an effort like that, because that's something that ultimately it furthers people. You know what I'm saying? And it could be something as simple as, I mean, you've got a pretty big audience. $10 a person, $5 a person, just a little bit. Every little bit counts. You get a company together. You basically track the progress of the project, and then you put it together, right? And then it's got to begin somewhere. It's got to begin somewhere, and then I guess, I mean, you tinker with it, you mess with it, you tinker with it, you see what it does. But ultimately, I guess at the end of the day, depending on where this thing goes, you want to start getting rid of these globes from these institutions. You want to start getting rid of the globes from these children's classrooms and start replacing them with like model Antikytheras. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, brother. This was the real model which was used in universities before they brought the globe into existence.
Oh, I
Right?
did not know that.
For $5,000, we could have an amazing model with a made of brass, same like how we saw in the documentary, high tech, precise laser cutting done by companies. We have all more or less like sorted out. We just need the community to get together and back us, because we cannot do it I cannot do it by myself, right? As you say, we all need to collaborate as a community and put this. We are speaking of few $1,000s. That's it. We are not speaking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to make the first prototype. We have the machine, we have the mechanism which does the whole calculations. We just have to give it another shape. It's going to be around. We have to add a dome, right? We have a way that it's going to look like a huge clock with all the luminaries inside, with all the gears telling us in real time, real predictions. This is possible. We could have it
All right.
anywhere in US, in a place or somebody's a place where we could show that the people can go and see it. We can use it and show to the people how it's working, right? And then in the later, once we have it all correctly done, we could make a smaller version where the people can buy and use it. Maybe of another material, not brass, but a usable machine, because you can find digital versions of Antikythera mechanism which does the predictions, which shows everything, right? But the problem is we need a physical one. We are not a CGI.
Yes.
This is this is an instrument, right? So for sure, brother, I'm open for it. I would like to do it, but this is the thing: community needs to come together. The community needs to see what is more important at these times and where to put our resources to get us on track. Because as you say, brother, there's a lot to do with that. It opens a lot of doors.
Yep. And I think an endeavor like this makes a little bit more sense, and this is something that we could possibly rely on a little bit more. And hey, look, I'm not one to be against anyone and their projects, but I think it goes a little bit further than a group of people going to Antarctica, potentially going to Antarctica and figuring something out. Because, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know about that. But something like this, I think, makes a little bit more sense. You get to see it real time. You get to kind of tinker with it. And if we had it in say a centralized location, I couldn't imagine of one. Me, I live in the U.S. Vika, I don't know where you live. Gene, I don't know where you live, right? But a centralized location, a place with a group of people that we can trust, because I mean, trust these days, I don't know, it goes a long way with those that you can trust. And then the money we put forth towards building it, then we check it out, we tinker with it, and it's in a controlled environment. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But like you said, like it's there. We need to get the community. But I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't know how. I think I would know how to start something like this. But if you come up with a device, a way to pay for this, I'll throw some money at it. Hey, that's me. To make a lot of these things work, it needs money, right? I'll throw a little bit of money at it. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the community. I'll put a little bit of lunch money towards it, and I'll make it. I'll help. I'll do something. At the end of the day, if it ain't got no money, ain't nothing going nowhere.
Oh yeah, brother. Because this is the thing. Okay, go ahead, Gene. Go ahead, Gene.
No, I was going to say it's a good point. There could be ways to possibly get it 3D printed, and maybe even like you say, do a tour with it or something. Make sure somebody has it at any of these conventions. Pass it around to people. Mail it to Spain. I'm in the United States also, but I could see something like that happening. And you know what, you guys, when you were talking before, as you're explaining it, one thing that it is kind of missing is the dome. And Vika, when you said that, bro, I immediately pictured a watch. It sounds like you're describing a big watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, you guys see this? You guys see this? You guys see this? This is a globe version toy that they are selling to the kids. I just saw this yesterday in my commercial center. I saw one. You see that? You guys can see it. It's
That's
made
funny.
of gears. So if they can try to make bullshit with our model, because this is just a toy.
That's true.
This is
True.
this is just a toy with a globe. You see? I don't know if you guys can see clearly.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. So we can make a real version with the brass. I think the brass is the best because it's almost for ever, almost like. It doesn't matter who keeps it. We would love to have that is in US, so people can go and see it. But if the community puts the money together, it doesn't matter who have it, as long as we have it, and we can point people out to a device and show. Because that's the question ends. Where is the model? We cannot show CGI and images and say this is our model, right? We can make a Lego version, as I showed, which can cost us also a couple of $1,000, but it's worth to 3D print it to work. But it's not really reliable, right? The reliable one is the metal one, right? We are speaking about 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters, 1 foot by 1 foot, like a real device, usable device, calibrated to the place, showing us all the calendars, all the eclipses, the solar, lunar, all the things we could imagine, the constellations, the solar cycle, the exolemurs, the metonic, everything we could imagine is right there, right? With our flat map, we could take the base as a flat map, showing all the gears from below, the other side of the device, which could be put on a stand, which could be turned upside down, right? With the dome
Yes.
above and showing in real. This is real stuff. And I really appreciate that you brought it up because I think it's time. Uh, uh, I just don't want to keep showing that we did this. Now we also have to do this because I tried putting it out in
Yes.
the community, but nobody's looking at it, right? Nobody's like, people are interested. I do say Antarctica, this, that. It's not going to help. It's going to be a hit
No.
piece. It's going to be a hit piece to make the flat earthers look stupid. That's what it's going to be, right? They're going
Yep.
to fake it because they cannot make it, so they're going to fake it. And I would love also that
Yes.
as a community that the people start focusing on something. And now it's a good moment that you brought it up, and maybe we will start looking into it to crowdfund this. And as I
Yep.
say, we don't need a lot to start, and this can go ahead
Nope.
amazingly. Tony, brother, welcome. How are you?
Yo, doing good.
Tony, what's happening?
Good on you, Ironwork, bringing it up. I was not even planning on
No
calling
problem.
in, but I just really did like Vikka's fire on this. Vikka, you sound totally about this, and I have not heard
Yeah.
this kind of.
I'm all in.
I don't know. You just sound really about it. I just want to throw you a suggestion. You should call into Jaren's Speaker's Corner and hit him with the same thing. I really didn't know you even wanted to make one, but yeah, totally. Why would you not?
Yeah.
No,
I
sounds
mentioned
awesome,
it,
man.
Tony. I mentioned in the debate with Jaren on when I was on Jarenism that
Yeah.
in the debate I said to McToon, right? Our model we can make in few grands, we can make this model, right? These people's model is a globe, and you can find in $3. Even a good astrolabe can cost you a few grands, a good high
That's right.
quality astrolabe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this, we are speaking about a machine that is 1 foot or something by 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot, made of
Yeah.
brass with gears working together, like the whole cosmograph, right?
It'd be
We are speaking
badass.
about a
But
dude.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's my first hearing of like actually thinking of making one. When you said companies can make this, who? Just like the people that would be making the metal components to it and stuff, or who do you know that would make it?
I know companies who gonna make. Brother, I've been behind this for more than 1.5 years.
Nice, dude.
I
This is
wouldn't
the first
even.
I've heard of
I
it.
wouldn't
Vikka, I'm
even.
glad
I
came
wouldn't.
around here.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll be real with you. I so don't trust so many people. I wouldn't even mention that thing on this forum. I wouldn't even talk about it. I wouldn't even say the name of the company or who. I'd keep them totally anonymous, and I'd be like, "Look, I know some people. We can put it together. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it." I so don't trust this. There's a lot I just mistrust, and I think we have a lot of good reason to not trust. But if we can put it together, don't even mention the companies. Let's find a way. Let's find an engine to make it happen. I'll throw some money at it, and then hey, we'll make it work.
That's
Oh
really
yeah, brother.
cool,
This is
bro.
the thing. Oh yeah, as I was saying, there are companies and there are different ways and different material. But for us, the best one is the brass material, the brass one,
I
right?
agree.
And
I agree.
and I've been looking into many different things. I have some amazing ones who can do an amazing job, and we have to take that. How do you say? Take that mechanism. Just redesign the outside to make it with the dome and looks
The dome.
around with the flat map on a stand. That's what of the we have to do, right? The machine, the whole, how do you say, the soul of that device will be made by a company, but we're gonna redesign the exterior
Yep.
and make it as our flat map with all the
Yep.
luminaries, real machine. So all I could say is that we can at least start putting this project a step by step by breaking it more apart and trying to open up a crowdfunding so we all can at least try to make this happen. As I said, we don't need a lot. We just need support from the people, and we might also need support from people in designing it, right? The exterior, or like, it's always good to have different inputs, right? We can
Yep.
to make it more better always, right?
For sure.
So
So do we have somebody that's already does like I'm not going to call it a full Antikythera, but already have a model Antikythera that we can basically base this one off of? I mean, we could always say the original, but I mean something that's already a working model that we could use that to base it off of.
Oh yeah, brother. There is a lot of schematics. There are a lot of printables, and these people do 3D printings now. The one I showed you
Mhm.
right now is a 3D printed Lego piece. So you can literally
Oh,
make a
okay.
3D printed machined ones also. But you need a lot of understanding of chronology and
Yes.
all this stuff, right? So it's better to
Yep.
have that machine made by a company and then redesign the exterior where you're not touching the
Yes.
mechanism, you're just making it right, because the mechanism is geocentric with the north pole in the center, and with everything, all
Hmm.
the luminaries going around working on the gears, right? And you have a crankshaft that moves those gears, right? We are not
Yes.
so much uh, research into how to make it. We know what it does, what are the kind of gears, right? You could know things, but you cannot know everything, how to put it together, right? For example, there was
Right.
one guy who was in Australia making called click spring. He was 1 year working on that machine with high-tech machine. You imagine it, a lot of work. So you understand, we could do things, we understand the machine, we know how it would work and how we could uh, make it up around it, right? But we cannot make it by ourselves, because you need a lot of experience with machines, with chronology, with gear systems, right? So the idea is to get the mechanics ready and work around it, right?
Totally. Vikka, I did have a question for you.
Yep.
So you went on the Iron Realm Media with Good Times for All, Zach Zabala.
Yep.
So I went out to Flattoberfest this past year, and they did not have what they've had at previous Flattoberfest. I guess Zach and Cammy would have a full operating model type of thing. So just when you were saying who could we go to, did this come up during your interview with them? I did listen to that, but I can't remember. Did this making a model come up with them on conversation, or was it
No,
mainly
because
just yeah?
the mechanical RAM released 10 days before the
That's what I was talking
Oktoberfest.
about the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so that is the model, and that was they might be talking about, because it was just 10 days before I released the documentary,
Yeah, so that's what you guys
and
were
for the
talking
flag.
about the whole time. And that was a good interview. But I think you should have maybe brought up that, hey, I really want to make something like this. I didn't know until today. So I just wanted
What
to,
I
yeah.
what I thought, Tony, is that some of the flat earthers might pick it up and approach me to do that, but nobody did. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Now I hear you.
Now that I know about it, I'm all in. Let's
I'm
make it
on
happen.
board.
Let's start talking about it. I think a lot of things we need to come up with just a basic foundation, right? And milestones as to ultimately when it gets done and when we reach the in betweens. You know what I'm saying? Getting the small stuff done, and then the ultimate project, just making it and then launching it to the rest of the community.
Oh yeah, and I don't mind even letting have Jaren, like, would be a great person to have it. For
Yeah,
example, right?
Yep.
totally.
I doesn't mind. I would love that, because he's there in US. People can go. He can take the device anywhere, right? To the
For
conference,
sure.
to the right.
Or David,
I'm
maybe.
open for it. Or David
Yeah.
Weiss, right?
Yeah.
And even you said once we do it, then we can figure out how to do it simpler, or
Yep.
Exactly.
so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
wondering. I like the idea of the brass is always awesome. I love the
It's
precious,
perfect. Yeah.
the really beautiful metal to work with. The guy Click
Yes.
Spring. That guy Click Spring is like he's almost like a machinist and a jeweler. If you check out Click
Haven't seen
Spring,
it yet.
guys, if you're into it, YouTube Click Spring, and you'll see this guy went through. It's got to be 20 episodes or so of him making all the different components of the Antikythera. And it's a friggin' fantastic series. It really is. It's an awesome series, man. But
Okay.
But I was also thinking that, maybe cost effective and to bring it into the public, a carbon fiber 3D printed one might not be a horrible idea, because it's not like you're running a weed whacker with it. It's not doing 400 miles an hour. You're turning the thing.
Right, right.
I
It
guess it
doesn't-
does have movable parts, though, right? And that,
Right.
yeah. Would it be
It-
Right,
so?
lots of them too. I mean,
Yeah.
It does. And the carbon fiber sounds like it would be a lot lighter than the brass, but I guess the main model, the granddaddy of them all, would be the
Yeah.
one made out of. You know what I'm saying? You
oh
want
yeah, bro.
that one, the model of models. You know what I'm saying? The one that
Yeah,
we bounce the rest of them off of. So
right,
that
exactly.
makes
The
the
one,
most sense.
yeah. Because you know what, after we get one, we figure it out. We get everything to work the way it's supposed to. Then it can definitely be more accessible to people.
For sure.
Yeah.
And instead of just having the maps, or like you say, this will replace the globe for all of us.
hmm
Yes.
I even
Yes.
showed my dad a sticker that says Earth is flat, and it's kind of got like a little dome, and then I just showed him it. He knows I'm flat, so I was kind of joking around. So I showed him it, and he goes, wait. So is there an edge on that? And I go, no, there's no edge. You can't get to the edge, type of thing. But if we had a full working model, I'd show him that, and then he'd kind of know what we're talking about. Even though I did pretty much just, it helped people who don't see it at all maybe see it. So yeah, it's something.
And that's a very good point, because even if and here's the thing, is you don't have to necessarily force yourself into convincing anybody that this realm is true, level, and plain. You let them figure it out for themselves with devices like this, because I think devices like this tell the truth, right? And they go a long way with helping explain our environment, and not some globe that doesn't adhere, the Earth that doesn't truly adhere with this globe that we're given. You've got this device instead that actually tells you what these luminaries are doing and how they're doing it, right? Where you are in the world, where it is you can possibly go from, one place to another place. So I think it makes a big difference, as opposed to having a globe just sitting around.
It's kind of funny too how the globe is just we're all just so used to it, but it is really funny when you think about it. And like, I even called into Strange World because someone said, "Oh, they're gonna make that thing in Vegas, a big globe," but really, it's a fake globe. It doesn't exist. So you can look at it and just kind of talk out to someone on how, hey, look, you can see that curvature going country to country right there. Like, don't you think? And but there's water in between, and it's a good teaching tool because it's so dumb. But yeah, we need something to replace it because it is what everyone thinks.
Absolutely, brother. Because we never see a globe. Sorry, go ahead, Iron.
Oh well, I didn't want to jump on that, but definitely, I think it would be good to retain a globe model or two, just to demonstrate, hey, this was the wrong way of thinking, and this is what we were tricked into believing, and then you can demonstrate what we were told, right, versus what the sheer reality of it all is, and then you can show this is what it is. But this is what we were told, and so I think it's good for a million different reasons. But one of the biggest is, hey, we were fooled into believing this. So keep your eyes open, stuff like that.
Yeah, bro. You know what?
What I also wanted to add. Go ahead,
brother.
team. Go ahead. We're having a lag.
All right. I happen to agree, Iron, that a globe is good to have around as reference points of how to talk to people about what they think and what they believe, and how to help them understand that that's wrong. So that's a good point, bro. You can't just completely discard it, throw it out, right?
There's that game Fortnite, and there's globes all over. I smash the globes anytime I see them, and I buy all the globe merchandise too. They got a bunch of globe merchandise in the game. I buy it all. Yeah.
And what's that place? It's an endless plane, right?
Yeah. It originally was not. It was just an island originally in Fortnite, but now it is an endless plane.
Yeah, cool.
So this is
See?
the thing. The globe is not really used in reality. If you see in the planes, in the ships, we never use a globe for real
We don't.
purpose.
No.
It's not a device, not a model. Because I always say when the people bring up with the model thing, what should a model consist of? A model should consist the luminaries, the most important, because the fight is
Yes.
about heliocentric and geocentric, right? So as we were mentioning about click spring, the amount of science and maths involved to make that gadget is mind blowing,
Totally.
right?
I tell you what. I'm a retired sailor myself. Go Navy, beat Army all day. But
Thank you.
every
Good
ship,
service.
thank you for your taxes. Now I tell you what. Every ship that I've been on, because I rode ships, I rode submarines, I flew planes. Well, I flew them. I wasn't the pilot, but I was air crew. And every single one of those platforms, not one globe. You have maps, we have charts, which we call them charts, but not one globe, nowhere to be found. And I've been on many ships, I've been on many subs, I've been on a few different planes, right? Not one globe to be found. Nobody adheres to that model. And it's crazy if you hear somebody say that we do, because that's not at all the truth. Not at all the truth. When you go on the bridge, when you go onto the bridge, they don't have a model sitting there, right? They have a bunch of things. They have the damn ship's horn. They have charts. They have, they have a mo boards and everything, maneuvering boards, but not a globe in sight anywhere.
Well, have you seen Flatten the Curve, bro?
Who's this? Flatten the Curve?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. On that movie on Netflix, right?
No. Flatten the Curve that was the Behind the Curve.
Oh, that's Beyond the Curve. Okay. Flatten the Curve? I don't think so. No.
I don't know if I have either.
Oh, you guys got to check out Flatten the Curve, guys. That's Vikka's other first documentary, and it's got a merchant marines, Air Force pilots, submarine quality control guys. They're all talking about how the instruments don't work on a globe. They only work on flat Earth.
I'm 100% gonna check it out, and that just shows you. I mean, I'm into all this flat Earth stuff for a while. I've never even heard of Vikka until that one debate with McToon. They hide everything, dude. They don't let you get it.
Yeah.
I see it, and I commend you, Vikka. But hey, I gotta hop off. Food just got here.
Good to see you,
Tony, man.
brother.
Tony, it's good to see you, man. It's nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Enjoy dinner, bro. Come back.
Peace.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I could tell you on a sub, I've been privileged with looking through a periscope, right, and seeing things, and it didn't even dawn on me that the stuff that I was seeing at the ranges I was seeing them wasn't even supposed to see them. And so just to check, to do a sanity check, I asked a buddy of mine, right? I did 23 years. He did 28. And he was a submariner the entire time, a submariner rather, the entire time. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, yo, so what's the furthest distance you've seen a ship, right? And so he was like, oh, we could see carriers for up to like 15 miles on these things. And this was, I'm not even going to tell you the elevation at what the periscope was, but it was low. It was low. 15 miles. He could see this stuff, right? And I could see like basically half distance and maybe a little bit more, but he could see it, and he's done a lot more time than I have on submarines. And he could see that stuff for 15 miles on a night click.
I think you'd have to be about 200 feet or so to see that.
Oh yeah. So
and that's just the horizon, you know what I mean? The alleged horizon.
Yeah, right. Yep. So
Wow.
these guys have no legs to stand on no more.
Wow. What do you think about how Terrence Howard with have you heard any of his stuff? What he's coming out with these days on Joe Rogan?
Like Man, look, I think I'm not going to get too deep into it, right? I'm going to put my tinfoil kufi away, but I honestly think that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't
All
know,
right.
like he said, he puts a bunch of, like, now this is, a lot of people get on Austin Whitsitt about word salad. That's not word salad. A lot of what
Yeah,
he
right.
says is word salad. Now that's a
Yeah,
lot of
cool.
trash. I don't fall for it at all. I think it's a bad look, especially me being black. A lot of people using him, and it's look. Like I said, I'm not gonna get too deep in it. I don't like it. It's bad. Him and people like Billy Carson, don't
Yep.
trust it. I think it's
Yeah.
nonsense. It's trash. It's all trash. Doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know if you've
Cool.
checked out. There's a guy named Feed Your Mind TV. So Feed
That
Your Mind. He does.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a lot of good material, and he's on YouTube. So you guys, I think it's either Feed Your Mind or Feed Your Mind 2. So
Okay.
Feed Your Mind, he talks about Billy Carson, and Billy Carson has mentioned flat Earth, and he's like, Billy Carson will sit up there and he'll tout himself, and he'll say stuff like, "Oh, well, I understand differential equations and advanced physics," and he basically pats himself on the back, basically saying, you know, in other words, he's like, I believe the globe. I think this flat Earth thing doesn't have any legs to stand on. And
Wow.
so he doesn't give his reasons as to why, other than I've done advanced calculus and this and that. And so people like him and Terrence Howard, they're
That's a
for the
red
public,
flag.
right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a show on Billy Carson, I don't know, about 3-4 months ago maybe. And the Emerald Tablets, he was talking about the Emerald Tablets and
Yeah.
So yeah, we covered a little bit of that. It's always trying. There was another current events one, so it's just kind of trying to keep up on things, Like
Yeah.
to see,
Don't
like
trust.
to see. Nah, bro, I don't trust it at all. Like I said a little while ago, sometimes you got to pay attention just to see what they're up to. I
Yeah.
mean, but now he's like today's Einstein kind of thing. They're just propping this guy up with a whole bunch of scripted stuff, and
Yep. Yeah.
it's us. It's these shows. It's guys like you, bro, and Vikka and me. All these guys, all you guys in the chat. It's all of us waking up that's creating this, because without us,
Yep.
they wouldn't have to do such damage control, guys. So congratulations to everybody.
Hey. And what's crazy is they'll use guys like Billy Carson and Neil deGrasse Tyson and stuff, and maybe some things they may be truths, right? Maybe some things may be truths, and then you'll hear Billy Carson say, "Oh," and then the Anunnaki, and then I'm like, nah, and he's mixing Anunnaki and then the moon, right, and then this one and that. And I'm like, I see what they're doing, right? They're using black folks to put out nonsense because it'll make certain people, and hey, I'm just gonna call a strike, man. They're gonna use those folks to make some people feel guilty into having to believe bullshit. And I'm sorry, look, I'm black, right?
Wow.
But I see bullshit when I see bullshit. It is what it is, man. But they're using these dudes, and they're using guys like Neil deGrasse Tyson to put out nonsense, and they're using guys like Billy Carson to put out nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta. It doesn't matter who you are, or what you are. You gotta call out the bullshit when you see it, just like you said.
Oh yeah, bro. It really does. Doesn't matter. Like, don't shoot the messenger kind of thing. Also,
Exactly.
That's why it's just kind of important to watch these guys so we can counteract what they're trying to say and be like, nah, that's wrong because of this, and that. So, but don't let it absorb, right? Observe, don't absorb.
Absolutely. And it would be good. It would be nice to get these guys in, not necessarily a debate, but a head-to-head with folks that have studied this, with very well-spoken folks, like the Austin Whitsitts and stuff like that. And even though Austin Whitsitt could get deep into the weeds, and it's like, look, man, a lot of people ain't ready for it, and that's fine. But if you could have folks like the Billy Carsons and the Neil deGrasse Tysons, and to have us, right, to have us all just calling them out, like, hey, come out, we'll have a talk, right? We'll have not necessarily a debate, because a debate kind of sparks a lot of stuff. So just like, hey, we'll have a talk. Yeah, and exactly. We'll have a talk. We'll hear your side, and why don't you hear our side, and then we'll put it to practice. We'll put it to practice. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I like that kind of setup too. The debates are kind of like I don't know, but the one-on-one with the question and answer kind of thing in a round room. Shelley Lewis did one a while back. I forget what it was called. Flat was it Flatlanders? One of the first ones. I forget. But that was really
Shelley
cool.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out, Shelley Lewis. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of times, like the debates get messy. Guys start
Yeah.
going over their time, and then other guys complain because they don't have their buzzer. And I'm like, well, like I get it. And even if, and here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? You can convince people that I've got 3 arms. It doesn't mean I have 3 arms, right? And then I could lose a debate to prove that I only have 2 arms. I could lose my own debate, right? And then the people be like, "Look at you, man! You got 3 arms. You had me fooled the whole time." And I'm like, "Nah, man. It's yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?" So I'm like, the debates, I guess, to some degree, they could be useful, but we need to find a different mechanism to get the information out there. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, the truth doesn't need help at all. And we're starting to prove that, right? We're starting to demonstrate, like, hey, this is what we can prove. We can prove this right now. If you want to go outside, like, we can prove it right now. And we can use testimonials, right, from people that are actually doing things like sailing constantly or flying consistently, right? And so the only thing really that gets me a little bit concerned is when we start making these assertions that we can't necessarily prove. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that gets me concerned. But even still, like, the truth is the truth.
Are there any in particular? I'm curious because we can work on it, man.
Well, here's my thing, right? Like the ice wall. Like, have we seen the ice wall? I haven't seen it personally, but I have seen footage. I have seen the old video footage. We've even seen that one more recent footage of that person flying along an ice wall, and it looks like a big ice shelf. It does, but I don't truly know what that is, right? I don't know what that is. I can't put it on a mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot. There's a lot to put behind that. So I mean, it's. Yeah, go ahead.
We've questioned because there's basically 3 ports of entry that we can only get there from, right? 1, 2, 3. Australia, Africa, South America.
South America, right.
And they present it as ice, but I'm not convinced it's just ice down there. Right here could be ice, and here, but all this, that could be just like the United States, just like France and Spain, or So, but that's a good one. We really can't. We can't get, there's nowhere else. We don't have the means to get that far and back to check it out. And I'm sure there's stuff out here that's going to stop us anyway. And then, look at the Pacific. They have the globe half of the globe is the Pacific Ocean. There could be so much land right there alone, man. And then this is a 3,000 mile strip of snow that they're showing on this map, 4,000 miles roughly.
Yep.
That's a lot of potential land, man.
All right, guys. I just don't want to cut you guys out. Just one moment. I just made a group on Telegram, which I left the link in the chat. It's a group I made called Antikythera Mechanism Flat Earth Model, right? Only the people who are interested to be a part of this project can join the group, right? Only the people who are interested to join this project and help this project only join that group, because we don't want just people there with memes and chatting and right. Only if you have some kind of interest to support to make this model can join the group. The link is there in the chat. I just put it. If you want to click it, join it. That it's a new group. So, brother, how are you doing? I hope you were listening to us. Did you listen to us, or you just Came in, brother. How are you?
I just got back from the store and saw that you were live. I made a short video real quick. Went up to the store and I came back and I saw that you had a live going, so I thought I'd pop in and see what was happening on here.
Cool, bro. Good to see you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Ironwork. Now, it was a real quick. Now, what do you guys think about this final experiment that they're talking about? What do you?
I don't know if you watch Level Earth Observer. He's a British guy, and he puts a lot of good material out there, right? He kind of opened up my eyes to it. I was a little bit weary, but then again, that's me. I don't trust too much. But after his explanation as to why it's not the best thing to trust, like, I totally get why I don't think this is the best thing for the community. For those looking into the true and level Earth, I don't think this is the best thing, especially now.
Well, it's actually
I don't know.
something. It's useless. It's useless as tits on a boar hog. Okay, and I'll tell you why. First off, the claim is that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Okay,
Right.
No one's disputing the possibility of daylight because there's elements amongst of the air and where the sun's at and the firmament that would allow therefore to be daylight. So what we're looking for is a 24-hour sun. So they're going to a place called Glacier, which is a little plateau, a well-established camp, which means there's been people been there before several times. Okay, this is a tour place. So nobody's done this observation. Okay, well, the little plateau is surrounded by mountains. Oh, good. So we're going to be able to observe the sun, and get this. They have quiet time where you have to be in your tent, which is a windowless tent, from 9:30 p.m. till about the time you would expect sunrise to have happened in the daytime. Isn't that extraordinary?
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any. See these details. These details are so important for the rest of the community to begin to see for themselves. Like information like that, and keeping it away, and me not necessarily keeping it away, but not knowing about it. It's so vital because now it lets you form a more informed opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And if I already knew McToon behind it, it's going to be some crazy crap.
Yep.
Yeah, right. That was the first flag for me that these guys are running it. So, like, you know, what's that? We were talking about this last weekend, and I'm like, what's that boat ride going to be between, you know, how many flat earthers and how many globers going to Antarctica on the same boat? That should be interesting.
Well,
and I'll tell you what. Don't be surprised if somebody seems a little bit off. Or look, man. Here's the reality of this. We're so public right now, right? There's so many agencies, alphabet agencies, that would just easily insert an officer into one of these groups just to watch, just to observe, or just to do whatever. So I don't trust any of it. I'll be honest with you. Just that alone and how public it is, I don't trust any of it.
Right.
I don't trust any of it at all.
How could you, bro?
I put a link in the private chat. I put a link in the private chat. And if one of y'all with a wrench want to go ahead and throw that out into the main chat, it's the website for the company that they're going through.
Oh, really?
You can look, and they're going to the Glacier Camp. Okay. And that's like right just inside by that peninsula that comes out on the ridiculous continent that they try to show you. Just by South America.
Oh, right underneath. Okay, and then that I think that's what makes Drake's Passage, right? That one.
I think so. Let me
see. Yep.
Wow.
It's that big old jutting piece of peninsula that comes out.
Yeah, let's see. It's Union Glacier.
Yeah, I just shared the link.
Okay.
So is there a 24-hour sun happening there or not, brother?
Not a sun,
On that glacier.
not a sun. You might get daylight, but you're not going to see a sun. You're surrounded by
Daylight.
mountains.
You might get
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So dig this.
Exactly.
If you go to the website, you can go there and you can look at pictures of the camp, and you'll see it's surrounded by mountain ranges, right?
Yep.
And that you have to be in your tent during quiet time, quiet hours, which is about 9. Yeah.
Now, one thing Jaron always is good at pointing out is he looks at the time hack at the top right of each one of those films, and he does notice a big gap of time every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if what you're looking at also, sir, is those quiet hours a part of that lack of film. You know what I'm saying?
Very well could be. I don't know. Were they filmed from Union Glacier? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I have no idea if it is or not. I don't know where that thing is filmed from, but the claim is that it's Antarctica.
Is there any reason why do they have this quiet time for, what is it, like, 9 hours?
Well, it's for other guests and staff and stuff, so they have their downtime.
What?
Oh, right. Okay, it makes sense. I guess to some degree it makes sense because it's kind of like being on a work rotation. You can't be outside making noise, maybe making some industrial noise with your machines. It's time to quiet it down for the guys that are sleeping so that they can get on their shift. Perhaps I don't know.
How much noise?
Nah, I don't buy that.
Come from a video camera. I mean, you can't even go use the facilities. They have facilities down there. And for the men's room, they have they have a shitter and they've got a urinal. And for the women, they've got 2 toilets, one for pee and one for poo, right? And while you're during quiet time, you have to be in your tent, and if you have to go, you have to do it like in a bag or in a jar or something, and then take it to the top. Yeah.
Because of your neighbor, because they want you to be quiet for your neighbor, for the guy next to. Oh, get out of here! That's
and they
bullshit.
say they're afraid people might wander off, and it's like, wait a minute, if it's daytime, how are you going to wander off? Come on.
Yeah, I don't
buy none of this stuff.
No. I knew there was some dishonesty
big shout
when I first heard about it. And then when I heard it was McToon, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Wait till we pick this apart.
Do they have quiet time when you're doing when you're climbing Mount Everest?
No.
I doubt it.
Wow.
A big shout out to our brother Matthew.
Thank you.
Wow. Gregorio. All right. Nice.
Brother.
Awesome.
That's so cool, man.
Thank you,
Matthew, bro.
I was mentioning earlier when we started the podcast that these guys are gonna fake it because they cannot make it, right?
Really?
So, and as Iron say, we have to focus on project like these, how we started today, right on live.
Yes.
We started this project
about
making our model from the Antikythera mechanism, right? Because the people are not looking into it, and now it's high time that the people get together to make this model, right? As we mentioned, that it's in a way required. So anyone who thinks who can be a part of this project, we don't need a lot of people. We need serious people, right? And if you think you're going to be a part of this project and can contribute in any way, click that Telegram link I just shared. We can make an amazing device which is going to destroy this globe out of existence. I think the mechanical realm already did it, but we have to show it. We have to give it in the hands. We have to touch it. So guys, if you're really, really interested that we go into something concrete, then proving that the globe is a farce, right? This is our way, and this is where we should put our effort and resources a bit to have this model, because as we said, once we have this main gadget, we could have a simpler version for the people to use it and use as a real model in the future for the universities and for any centers who wants to show the real cosmos, which is the Antikythera mechanism, right? As I mentioned before, we already have companies who's gonna do the main machine work. We just have to redesign the exterior of it with the dome. So guys, whoever is listening in the chat right now, live or later, if you guys want to be a part of this history, if you want to call it, made by a flat earth community, please click that Telegram link. That's our first link, that a first group we are making. We're going to try to go on all different platforms and make those groups so we all can communicate. We need help to design it from the exterior part at least, right? So guys, the link is there, and show us support, and let's take this step, because a lot of thinking, a lot of thought process is done. It's time to take a step. And as Iron Work came today and make this spark, so I cannot now be quiet, and I am taking this step that we all together, whoever wants to be active or a passive supporter, all is possible. The group is there to speak about it and how we could do it. Like, we need directives of people who are really serious to take this project ahead. So if you become a part of the group, you're gonna see what we all are gonna do, and we can evolve from there. So thank you everybody who was listening to that. Sorry guys, go ahead. We can go ahead with also whatever we want to go with.
I put a link over in the private chat to, I don't know if y'all know about the True Earth Wiki page. Developed by No Longer on the Ball, he goes by on YouTube. And there's a lot of great links, a lot of great information on there. But I can tell you a relatively easy experiment that you can do at home that will cost you little to no money whatsoever. Okay. And all you have to do, because we can destroy the globe right from its inception, right from the inception. And that's the sun, right? So all you have to do is grab up a volume of hydrogen or your any other favorite gas that you can think of into a contiguous mass without a container. That's all you have to do, because it had to start with two. So somewhere along the line, gas molecules decided, hey, you know what? Instead of bouncing off each other with a perfect elastic collision like we always do, let's hold hands. And we'll get the next one that hits us to hold hands too. And then eventually maybe we'll develop gravity. But before that, you have to be able to have a volume of hydrogen without a container. Can we do this? No. Well, guess what? Globe's dead.
You know, they don't even have a theory or a formula or anything that hints towards how much hydrogen and helium do you need to form gravity.
Well, how do you get them to come together? How do you get them to come together in the first place? There's the big quagmire. Boom, over.
Mickey Mouse did it, you know?
Exactly.
You can't, yeah, you can't.
Do you know who Professor Park? Do you know Professor Park's PhD? Have you seen him?
Nah.
Professor Parks? Does he have a channel?
Yeah. I was in his chat the other day, and they were talking about stars, and I posed that very thing right there. And I said, gases will never, they're unbonded molecules. They will never stick together. Okay. That's never going to happen. And he said, well, if they're frozen, they will. And I was like, holy crap, they're frozen. Now they're a solid. And first, you have to have a volume of it to freeze. How are you going? And then there's another problem with the degrees of Kelvin that you have to get to freeze a gas is impossible to obtain. So sorry.
Yeah, this is true. And I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. Like, I couldn't speak to a professor in like you are, right? In an educated manner on something like that, because like I know what I know, but once we start getting into the weeds, once he starts taking me deep, then I'm gone, right? I wouldn't know what the hell to say next. But like a sun just wouldn't work. But then they'd use things like the Parker space probe that's supposedly flying around the sun and flying back to the Earth at 430,000 miles an hour, right? Breaking all these speed records that they're claiming. And it's like, wow.
Going into 1.8 million degrees of the corona part of the sun, bro. And,
exactly. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they make this stuff out of. That it's getting all these readings, that it's
they made it out of Saudi passports.
Exactly.
How do they test for that stuff down here? Can we get things to reach at 1.8 million degrees down here? Can we weld anything like that down here? Shit. I don't know. Maybe we can. But no, that was a joke. And they had cameras taking pictures of what they call magnetic switchbacks. It's like, oh, look at this.
It's
terrible.
It's mind blowing. And what's
Terrible
crazy
stuff,
is that the whole time while it's breaking all these speed records, it's still not keeping up with the speed of the sun and how fast the sun is traveling.
No, well, it's in
breaking all these records. It still can't move as fast as the sun, but it somehow made it around the sun. It doesn't make any sense.
And they're going to do it again. They made that to go back around, bro. They're crazy, these people, man.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't really do that. Some people said they did that. And there's a bunch of people sitting behind a computer screen that have been practicing with simulators the whole time, and they're seeing the same shit on the screen, only this time they said, this is real world. This isn't a simulation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, but you know what it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, it's a big litmus test, because if they can say something like that and people really believe it, that gauges where these people's mentality is. And then they know what they can do next. And when they, and so that's why they come up with this Terrence Howard guy now, because we're not falling. More people are not falling for those stories, and they need to lean this story some other way, man. They need to steer this shit some other way now. So that's what's going on, guys.
They're bringing in the notorieties. They're bringing in the celebs, right?
Wow.
So recently we had, I guess, Roseanne Barr talking to Dave Weiss.
Right.
Dave Weiss and Eddie Bravo were on Alex Jones the other day. And boy, did Alex look like an idiot ass. I'll tell you.
He stonewalled the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
Like, what did he have him there for? He wanted to talk about Donald Trump and goof around about flat Earth,
Yeah. And you want to know something about Alex Jones? Maybe at one time he was totally legitimate, right? Maybe at one time, but after they shook his ass up and they got him, or they threatened to get him for billions of dollars, and he saw that, and him proclaiming that it looks flat, right? And then finally him saying, any out this, you're right. I'm like, man, he's done. He's done. Like, you can't trust a lot of these people. It's crazy. At one time you thought you could, but then they show their hand, and it's like, all right, it's part of the game. It's all part of the game, because with the right people that get in contact with them, Lord knows, they could threaten their life, their livelihood, and then if that doesn't faze them, they're like, we'll just kill your kids. Like, that's the reality of it. We will kill your kids. We'll kill your barber. We'll kill your sheep. We don't care. We'll get everybody, right? And so these guys are like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to speak positively on the flat Earth. I'll speak bad about it. So now we have to keep our eyes on guys like Stu Peterson, right? Unfortunately, that's the reality of it.
Yep.
He just put out Hibbler's movie,
The author when they make an offer that you can't refuse, they're not threatening you. They go, it's more something like this. Hey, listen, we'll give you $2 million and let your family live if you do such and such. If you don't, then you don't get the $2 million and your family dies.
Yeah. Yep. And then you're like, man, you used to live in a damn cardboard box. Where'd you come up with this yacht at? And then you don't have to say anything, right? Because now you're sworn to secrecy, and then people are gonna forget about or not even notice or recognize that your family got threatened. They're just gonna see that you took the money. And so you're absolutely right, Mr. Sovereign. Yeah, you're right on top of it.
Let me tell you what threw a big red flag up for me with when it came to Alex Jones. First off, he'd say do your own research, and my research came up with another tribe that wasn't the freaking Chi-Coms, and it wasn't the globalists. Okay, so that was first foremost. But then I noticed he started going through staff like a lot of people go through underwear, and I'm wondering why are these people not? Okay, so then Truth Stream Media pops up.
He lost control of his staff.
And well, here's the thing. It's not that he lost control of his staff. He fired them because they were asking questions. I can tell you that much. But it's really suspect that they all can't talk about any of their time with Alex Jones' show because of the non-disclosure agreements.
Wow.
So
the same thing that what's his name, Ben Shapiro's doing with Candace Owens.
Yep, exactly. And so it comes down to with these non-disclosure agreements, and you can Aaron Dykes. I don't know if you remember Aaron Dykes and what was her name, Melanie something. They ended up getting married, those two. And they have Truth Stream Media right here on YouTube, and it's pretty good content. But they are not allowed to talk about their time at Alex Jones. None of them guys are that were there.
I remember Truth Stream Media.
15 years or 20 years, they've gone through a shitload of people.
Wow.
I fell off the Alex Jones thing a long time ago. He got like over the edge for me. I'm like,
it's good for baby
much,
truthers because it gets you into your mind to be able to look at some of these, because every lie, every gatekeeper gives you bits of truth. But when you find out where he gave you the wrong directions, then you can just drop them and you can continue on from there. You know?
Yes. Totally agree.
So
yeah, man.
Having fun in the chat, making fun of all this stuff. That's great.
I mean, I'm suspect of anybody famous coming out like that and going, hey, you know what? The earth is flat. Yeah, I've known that for like 10 years. What's your problem?
Yep.
Why are you just now coming on to it? Now you're going to try to what? Co-opt it? Try to grift some fame out of it because it seems to be the popular thing to do? Tell me what you know about flat earth, and then we'll talk. Okay? Until then, shut up and listen until you know something. I don't give a shit who you are.
Yep. Well, and I think
I'd like to hear where they're coming from.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, it would be interesting. It would be interesting to hear, but like, I totally hear you, Sovereign. Like, it would be hard. It would be a hard sell for me, because if a celebrity were to come out, because somebody like Kyrie Irving, he's always in the doghouse anyway. He could save the world from mass destruction, right? But he's going to be in the doghouse. So him coming out as a flat earther, people are going to shit on him automatically, right? So like somebody, I could kind of trust him because he's getting the same response that you or me or anybody in this chat would get from an NPC out there. He's getting the traditional response. Now, if he was getting a following of other people, other celebs coming out, then I'd be a little bit like, well, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Totally.
Yeah. I'm very suspect of these people when they come out like that. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You want to learn more about flat earth. Don't take the lead. Don't be trying to take the lead. You don't know how to drive. You see, now fake is one slick globe tart to come in and destroy you right off the bat. Lesson number one, don't make a fucking claim. Lesson number one, don't make a claim. And lesson number two, falsification is independent of replacement.
Yep. And you want to know, I would say that the globe they know that this flat earth thing is starting to get some serious legs on it, because if you notice the last few years, those pilots got to come out and be quote unquote whistleblowers. We know what happens with real whistleblowers. Like, for example, the real whistleblowers are like the guys that come out of Boeing. Those are real whistleblowers because now they're dead, right? The real whistleblowers are, and these are airplanes that we fly. Like, some of y'all in the chat probably flew on one like 10 minutes ago, and it's just, or you're probably on an airplane right now when watching this live, right? And so those are real whistleblowers. These pilots, these commanders and everything else, unfortunately, a lot of them were Navy guys, right? They're coming out and they're smiling in front of Congress, and Congress like, so you really saw a UFO? I'm like, you know what? Okay, I get it. They're just going to string a lot of people along into thinking, oh, wow, this UFO thing actually is real. And so what that does is it lends credence to a fake space and a fake globe and fake men on, men and stuff like that, to where now it's like the earth couldn't possibly be flat, because you have these UFOs from Antarctica that have green on them and everything else. So now it puts the earth back to where the flat earth originally was for the last how long. So I see what it is they're doing.
Flat Earth is actually, I saw a statistic the other day that said it has grown 770% since 2015. There's nothing they can do to stop this.
Yep.
Their censorship hasn't worked. Their mockery and ridicule hasn't worked. And the worse they try, the worse they look. It comes down to a case of, you think the lady does protest way too much, okay? You want people to look at your boobies. That's why you got them stuck out there. So you're protesting way, 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 way too much for what you think it is. If indeed it's ridiculous and globe is an observable, testable fact, then why are you even here spending countless numbers of hours arguing with people that do not believe that it is? I mean, if I said the sky is tartan plaid, how long would anybody spend arguing with me about it? None. No time at all.
Well, you want to know something?
False. Okay, so
I feel as if they with their hands down and they're running and basically trying to do a clock out, and got and we're calling them out.
You're breaking up, brother.
you're breaking up.
Oh man, I'm going through the countryside now, so forgive me. But it almost seems as if they know they're caught in checkmate, right? And so since they're caught in checkmate, they're now looking for solutions in order to progress their lie and to make us look bad. So they're like running out the clock. They're asking us the same. They're like talking in circles. They're talking in circles. Oh, well, the ground is too cold, and so it bends the laser, so that's not an actual reading. You see, the laser moved like 0.00001 degrees, and so because it did off of this ice, then that's a refraction. So then the reading is no. And it's like, they do shit like that until they could come up with a solution.
Well, what has there been a heavy-duty increase in just the last 2 years regarding all of this? What have you seen? They're using one of their biggest tools that they tried to use on us, and that's, you're seeing a freaking rocket launch every other damn day. Every other damn day, they're spinning up something. Oh, look, space. Don't forget about space. Don't forget about rockets. Don't forget about space. And it's like we're just laughing at them,
Yep. And you're right. And in the last 2 years, what? India, the U.S., and Japan landed on the moon, right? The last 2 years. Meanwhile, it took them 54 years to get one thing on the moon. Something like that. Some ridiculous, man. Come on, man. 52 years? Come on, man. These dudes are full of it.
And they just keep kicking that can down the road. We can't hear you, Gene.
Yeah.
You're muted, Gene.
Gene, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, guys. They still have no video from the moon to the Earth. Nothing of any of the eclipses or anything with their satellites, all the technology going on. They have nothing significant. You know, he asked plenty of times, guys. Maybe you guys would say, what has space travel done to further humanity? I have no clue, man. I really don't.
Nothing. I'm
right?
still going bald. I'm still going bald. They haven't even figured this out yet. I'm still losing my hair.
Yeah, that's in the shampoo and stuff, bro.
Right?
I'm
still
totally
losing it,
convinced
man.
of that. Yeah.
So these guys.
Listen, tell people that ain't a bald spot, man. That's a solar panel for a sex machine, bro.
Yeah. You're right. Like these guys, it's crazy because we supposedly have around like 9,500 sensors up in space.
Oh, there's no water on the balls in the chat right now. The guy from that created the True Earth Wikipedia page. Good guy, man. Good guy.
No longer on the
check
ball?
him out.
No longer on the ball.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Come on up, man. If you can.
We have
Is he
link.
coming?
Yeah, we have a link there on the chat. We have a link there pinned on the chat above. Anybody wants to jump in is welcome.
Oh, cool. He's going to make a page for the Telegram.
Supposedly we have like 9,500 sensors
awesome.
out there, and not one of them could have spotted any one of these probes leaving to do the DART mission, leaving to fly from Japan all the way to the moon, say India to the moon, from the US to the moon. Not one of them could spot and be like, hey, there goes that probe, there goes a probe leaving Earth, high probe, bi probe, or on the way back. Like none of them could do that. Not one of those 9,500 sensors could do that. Unreal.
We could follow Santa Claus down to everybody's house, right? But not not scientific equipment that costs us a fortune.
Yep. Oh, look at that, guys. Santa Claus is in North Dakota now, and I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man.
He'll be at the 7-Eleven in half an hour.
Yeah. If you look up, and it's
Well, that would bring you to satellites. The satellites are more like an airplane taking pictures of everything on the ground. But when you Google Earth, you could tell the date on a quarter on the ground, but then when you go up, it slowly turns into a cartoon. So they got every square inch of the ground covered. They know every little stitch, every plant you put in your yard that's not there last year, they'll know about it next year. They know that.
Yep.
But,
and what's crazy is how the fidelity with these cameras on these quote unquote satellites in Leo moving at 22 times the sound.
Right. Yeah, 17,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right. The
unreal.
ISS moving 17,000 miles an hour. You know what happens if something's off like a half inch and you touch something moving that fast? I can't imagine. Where's the aerodynamics on some of these instruments and these tools? There's no aerodynamics. How's the aerodynamics of a brick flying around the Earth 17,000 miles an hour? It's crazy. It's crazy to think
and
about.
What's crazy is this as well, is that they say things like the moon is still in our atmosphere. This is from them, saying that the moon is still in our atmosphere.
Yeah, that's new. That's new.
They had to do that. Yeah, they had to do that. Go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, according to the data, from the moon, it's negative 10 to the 11 torr pressure on the moon. You want to tell me how that's in our atmosphere? Yep. Come on. Get this. They had these aluminum cases that had seals on, and what they did is they went out on the moon and they picked up rocks and put them in out there and sealed the case on the moon so they could preserve the moon's environment with the rock. Right now, you want to explain to me how once they got it inside of a pressurized capsule, that sucker didn't crash right down into a freaking pancake?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. It's wild. These guys with their BS, man. It's crazy. Now I was looking at a few pictures of the guys that serve, quote unquote, on the ISS without their helmets, right? And they were, the normal pictures of them in their spacesuits, quote unquote spacesuits. If you look at around their collar area, I wish I could just demonstrate it for you right now. What it is I also used to be a Navy diver way back in the day, and one of the rigs that we dove, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it was a surface supplied rig, right? And you can eventually set it up for scuba as well. But it was called the Mark 21 rig. And the Mark 21 rig, it's the hard hat. It's the yellow hard hat. And what it needs is a neck dam. So a lot of these astronauts in their pictures, they'll be wearing just that. They'll be wearing a neoprene neck dam. It looks like a neoprene turtleneck, but instead of black or blue, it's white.
Okay.
How does that function as a spacesuit that's that's giving you the opposite effect of what water's supposed to be doing, which working in an environment to where you can wear a neck dam that's made of neoprene works in water. How does that work in space? Or how does that work in the opposite type of environment?
Here's one even better for you.
Vacuum.
Right? So go back and watch the first spacewalk footage. I'm sure you've all seen it. The astronaut goes out to the end of a tether and he goes just like this. He floats out there and he goes just like this. Now, you want to tell me how the hell he turned his head? You want to tell me how that helmet turned? And come on now.
Yep. Meanwhile, he's moving at like 17.5 around the Earth without any tether or nothing. I don't think he had a tether. He was just out there floating, free.
Yeah, I think it is. Let me see that. I think I got a video of it.
Did he have a tether? Because I think they showed him without a tether.
They have one from 1971 or 1972. They had a guy with a jetpack out there, and you see him. He's just out there.
Yep.
Jesus. Terrible stuff, guys.
1965.
Brainwashing for the masses. Every year that comes up. Oh, today's the anniversary. Things like the blue dot. When they took a picture of the Earth through Saturn's rings, and all you see is the dot. Well, the pale blue dot is from 3.8 billion miles away.
Okay,
it's got one tiny picture of the Earth with nothing else in it, from 3 billion miles away.
Look at this MTV. This is MTV right here, vintage MTV.
This is completely not claymation at all. It's not animated. Are we watching Robot Chicken? Is that what's going on here? Now watch this fool.
Look at him.
I gotta wait for it. He'll turn it. There he goes.
He's tethered. Yep. Okay.
How in the world did you do that?
In 65, man, they had it. They had that technology. It's just a painful process to re-put it back together, I guess. I don't know.
That's the year.
There's never any recognizable landmass.
No.
The cloud formations would be like the size of 3-4 United States half the time.
Mm-hmm. Pretty actually, Level Earth Observer makes a video where he gets the continent of Africa sandwiched on the front of the globe, and next to it, they show these different anomalies between the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aqaba. And they don't even exist, but that's one of their depictions of the Earth from space.
Oh my God.
Yep. These things don't even exist, and he calls that out. Level Earth Observer, yeah, one of his videos.
Funny.
Yep, 1965. That was the same year I was born. And listen, it was believable. I mean, by 69, I can remember the moon landing, man. It was exciting to me. I was this little kid and I'm standing there watching this shit on the TV and go outside. I had this snowsuit that looked like an astronaut suit. And it said NASA on it. And I'd go out in the snow in the wintertime and I'd play like I was on the moon. But I can remember after they went up there and they were showing it on the TV, I can remember going outside and seeing the moon going, wow, they're really up there. That's really crazy. I mean, but what did I know? I shot off a bottle rocket and I couldn't find it. So I was convinced that it went to the moon. Because it took 3 days. I didn't find it until 3 days later, and I figured, well, it must have just landed, and that's how long it takes to go to the moon and back is 3 days. So,
Yep.
You know, I was.
Now, what I think is fascinating. Oh, go ahead.
Guys, I just wanted to show I showed the image first, and I'm going to show the video I took. Right, this is what they're selling to the kids.
Yep.
A Lego Antikythera mechanism, but a globe toy version. Right?
Wow.
So somebody asked in the chat.
You guys remember when we used to get Legos, and it wasn't a specific. It was just you made whatever out of it. It wasn't Star Wars.
You got
the Lego.
100 pieces or 200 pieces.
Do you know what they're doing? Do you know what they're doing? Do you know why they're doing that and what that's doing? It's taking away the creativity of the child. When you had just a box of blocks and you made stuff and you used your imagination, you could make a rocket ship, you could make a horse or whatever the hell you wanted to out of those Legos. Now it's specific to the kit. Now it's all specific to the kit. Got to go by the directions. Can't just make what you want. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They don't want anybody to be able to use the right side of their brain.
True.
That's the God side of the brain.
And you know they gear the kits towards pop culture, and now they charge you twice as much for something.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Hey, welcome to No Longer on the Ball. Hey, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, Joel?
Hey,
Welcome,
there.
bro.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just been working out in the yard and crazy stuff. Hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the yard all day. I hear you, bro. It's very addictive.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right.
Beautiful day today too. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yep, and working on the wiki. I've got 350 channels on there now. So if you guys are bored looking for live streams or videos out there, there's no lack of them. I got 350 channels now. And that's
amazing.
Like yeah. I was thinking
so
I'll never get 200. I remember I was Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I apologize. I didn't want to steal your thunder. Go on.
Oh no, yeah. I was just thinking, man, I can remember when I thought I'd never get to 100 and then to 200, and then here's 350 of them came and went.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Man, there's a section on there. People always, what are they doing with that money? What's NASA do with that money? There's a section in there that's actually a NASA PowerPoint showing where that money goes, and it's not toward rocket ships, baby. Smart dust, active denial systems, all kinds of surveillance bullshit. Yeah, man.
And NASA's really crafty, man. They're very crafty in that they have their own little clothing line as well. So the high society could walk around, because you see the Kardashians walking around with NASA shirts, and it makes people appear as if it's like a power move, man. Makes them look as if they're somebody important. And I'm like, no, this is just more programming. You know what I'm saying? It's just now it's drawing people that have no business wearing it. Some of the biggest dummies in the world, obviously, and they're just walking around with these NASA shirts and these scullies that say NASA all over it. And I'm like, good Lord, have mercy.
When I see that Ironworks, it's the same as somebody wearing a shirt that says "I'm with stupid" and it's pointing straight up.
Yep. Well, the best is when you see those guys on Facebook like 4 years ago in 2020, 2021, and they got their little mask on and they show their little Band-Aid on their arm, and I'm like, oh, you're just showing me that you're a total idiot. Got you. Nice.
That's
They're like, hey, I got my shot. I got my shot. Where's yours? And I'm like, idiot.
That's my favorite insult. You sound vaccinated.
Well, we have to take care with the hot words. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yep,
They're
yep.
kind of slacking back off that, Vikka.
No
They're
worries.
slacking back off that to a degree. I'm seeing a lot of scathing shit that we would have got totally shut down 4 years ago out there right now. But what's that tell me? Oh, too late. We don't care anymore. Too late. We've already run out of game. Too late. We don't care what you say about it now.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. And the worst and the best part is, like, on the web there are images of people wearing NASA shirts, and you can see they're doing one of the most dumb crap you could imagine, right? So that's the best part.
Yeah, like in their doctor's office getting poked. Exactly. In their doctor's office getting their 3-month poke. And what's just to add on to that, right, is that you're absolutely right, Sovereign. Like, they're like, it's too late. Like, you did it already. Like, not all of us, but they're like, it's too late. You can say what you want. You've committed to it already. You've shown us how stupid you can actually be. You've done it already. So you can say what you want. You're absolutely right.
That's the litmus test, guys, because when people cheering on things like Parker Space Probe, Ingenuity, whatever's on Mars, I think that might be Ingenuity. People cheering this on, they know how hypnotized they are.
Yes.
Right? I really do believe there's a correlation between what they're doing with this fantasy outer space stuff, because it's just so opposite of reality.
Yep. And even though a lot of people could say, well, you don't know that, because they're like, well, why would they hide the truth? Why would they hide the truth? And you don't know that. It's like, yes, but you've got to understand that you may think you've got a good imagination. There are people that they pay to have a very good and vivid imagination, and they use their imagination against us. They use that. So I used to be a big fan of guys like Dean Koontz, Stephen King, Arthur C. Clarke, but then I started to realize that reality is a lot crazier than anything you could find in those books.
Not being right, boy. Absolutely. I was talking to my wife the other day. We were going to Walmart, which I dread. I haven't been there in a long time, and I guess they redecorated. I love what they've done to the place. They've decorated it in modern dystopia. It's real cool, kind of like McDonald's did. They grabbed up that black modern dystopia. Yeah, I mean, it's just now I looked at my wife and I said, you know what would happen if these people all of a sudden at one time all became aware of how their world really works? Do you realize what kind of a freak out you would have on your hands? That might be the very reason they keep everybody in this comfortable lie. Because if they really knew what was going on, they would lose their fucking minds, man.
Man, they would. I think the opposite, bro. I think they would regain their mind, and they would lose control out of people who did lose their mind, who still live on a ball. Because if they're living on a ball, they're not going to be falling for this stuff, and they're not going to want to be ripped off every day for the taxes and everything they think on. Everything they're being shown on TV is garbage, a lie. The food, they're not going to. If they would understand that they got tricked in the first place, that we don't live on a ball flying around because of gravity billions of years ago, I think that would help wake people up and say, oh, hold on a second. There's a lot more of us than there are of them. And I think
go ahead. I don't want to steal your thunder. Go ahead. You're in a good place. Go ahead.
That's all right, bro. It's all good. I really do. I think that it's kind of the other way around a little bit. If people were to wake up, man, that game's friggin' over, bro.
Well,
it's over, bro.
I feel you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ironwork. Go ahead.
So I feel you on that, but it's one of those things that if it doesn't have enough people behind it, a lot of people are straight pussy, man. Like it is what it is. A
Yeah.
lot of people are killing. Most people, the majority of people, like when you watch the movies, right? You have the protagonist that's the hero and stuff, and he's usually against the grain, and you're like, I do exactly what he did because they're wrong. So the truth is, you won't do shit. Like not me or not you, right? But the majority of people are cowards. It's unbelievable. The majority of people are cowards. They're silly. They're lazy. Right?
Yeah.
Especially when they can't see the bigger picture. So when you try to explain to them that something like the true earth is like the linchpin for everything else, once you see this, and this is a fundamental truth, and that what we've been told is a fundamental lie. If you explain that to them, they can't grasp it, they can't see it. So if they were to come into the true earth, you know what? They'd probably be scared, and they're like, I really can't say anything because they'll think I'm stupid. So if I say something, I'm afraid that I'll be ridiculed. So let me just keep it moving. That's what I feel the majority of.
Well, we've programmed everybody to believe that being wrong is a cardinal sin, when in reality, being
embarrassing, and don't do it in front of everybody.
It's a positive experience. Actually, being wrong is a positive experience because you've learned something, haven't you? So what people first have to realize is that they are a slave that has been given collective amnesia. And what I mean by that, what is the first things that somebody that's suffering amnesia says? Who am I? Where am I? What day is it? Well, they've lied to you about where you are, when you are, and who you are.
That's right. On point.
You ain't learning nothing.
Yep. So that's the reality of it. And once you start to go, okay, now I have to find this out. You're only going to be able to go with what you can find, and you have to sift through the lies. But as soon as you realize the amount, and the worst part of it is, you're responsible for your own prison. You're the one who has the keys to it, and you don't even know it.
Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what's unfortunate about it is that people use what time they think they have for bullshit. And so they're like, all right, after the game, I'll do something about it. After, I finish making this birthday cake, I'll do something about it. But the problem with that is that you never know when your time's going to run out. So, I mean, it took me, like when I came to the realization of what this was, like I'll admit, I was scared because I was working for a group where we do a lot of what we're discussing, right? And so I'm like, I can't say anything about this. They'll look at me crazy, right? Then finally, I was like, I might as well say something. They think I'm crazy anyway. I might as well say something. So I did, and people looked at me funny, like I thought they would, and I had to explain to them. They were like, well, Chief, why would you say something like this? Why would you say that? And I'm like, well, think about it. I was like, you don't think I'm stupid, right? They're like, no. I was like, well, look at what it is I'm professing. Take what it is I'm saying and go investigate, but with a grain of salt, right? And you'll see for yourself. But you have to drop your ego at some point. At some point, you have to just let it go and accept things for what they are. And kind of like what you said, Sovereign, right? You have to accept you're a slave. You have to come to grips with it. The more reality you can give yourself, the more truth you can give yourself, I think the easier the process is into understanding where it is or what this place to not be. Because a lot of us don't even know who we are. A lot of us don't even know where we come from.
And that leads you to not knowing where you're going.
And there's so many clues to our past and our history being such a massive lie. The existence of giants, some of these architecture. Why are these people that are, horse and buggy people that are only around 5.5 foot tall, building 30-foot functional doors and then having to put a little door in the bottom of it so they can go in? What in the world is going on? You know, I don't know if y'all saw, but Hibbler Productions just put out a video like last night.
Oh,
Real
World
late
Order.
last night. It's really good, and it's on there. Yeah, it's pretty good.
No spoiler alerts yet. I didn't watch it.
No, I'm not spoiling nothing about it, but it's really good. It goes into a lot of that. It goes into a lot of that. Now, listen, you got to be careful with this stuff, though, because there's a lot of people in that realm that are sitting there going, every mountain is a melted building. And it's like, no. Okay. No. Every tree, no.
Yep. Now, there's a book written by Stephen Quayle. I bought it back in 2012, right? It's called Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They have it on Amazon. I don't know if they still have it on Amazon, but I purchased it back then. I purchased it for like $20. You know what Amazon is doing with a lot of these books now that we've come into, now that we're here with what the true earth realm is and everything, a lot of these books, that they're dangerous because they're either out of print, one, through Amazon, they're out of print, or two, they're like super expensive. Mm-hmm. So a book like that book by Stephen Quayle. Exactly. So that book by Stephen Quayle called Giants, it's not one of those run-of-the-mill books anymore. Now that thing is worth like $150. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm sitting there like, this is what they do with all the books that they don't want you to have. They make them super expensive.
Yeah.
True.
And it's like with Black's Law Dictionary, with every subsequent volume, they remove definitions.
You lose. Yes. You lose fidelity. Yes. This is all done on purpose.
I got a great, look how they added curve to level in the dictionary online here. I got a 1972 Unabridged dictionary. It ain't in there nowhere about a curve. But see, that's the ministry of truth. At the stroke of a key, you can change everything, right?
Yes.
That's why you got to go with hard copy, paper and ink. I've got a 6th edition that my wife found at a yard sale, a 6th edition Black's Law for 50 cents. She got it for 50 cents. Yes,
that's
sir.
Awesome.
Yes, Black's Law. So what is Black's Law? I've never heard of this. What is that?
Okay. Black's Law is actual legal definitions of words. Okay. So like we have definitions we use in dog English, which is basically what we speak. Right. And then there's a legal definition for it. Okay. So like even in the word to drive, right. Yep. You take that into the context of operating a motor vehicle, but that's not that isn't that. To drive is an act of commerce. Okay. Traffic, we think of that as a bunch of cars all stuck together in the road, right? No. Traffic or trafficking is a commercial act. Okay. So your license allows you to conduct commerce on the highway. Now, if you're just going to grandma's house to drop off a cake because it's her birthday, are you engaged in an act of commerce? No. You're traveling. You're piloting your privately owned property from one location to another. There's no driving involved. Now, if you were carrying UPS boxes to somebody and somebody was paying you, or you're a taxi driver or a truck driver, now you are driving. But as far as somebody traveling from one location to another, you're not driving, you're traveling.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch about it. What is a person? A person is not a human being. It's a corporate fiction. There's a whole bunch of shit to people. This is the word magic that they use to destroy you, right? World.
This is all the stuff when they sell us as a corporation when we sign a birth certificate over. That's our parents did it, our grandparents did it. It's what we're taught to do. And
I did it to my kids.
You're declared dead. You're declared dead, and everything you own is mortgage. Now, every bill that you've ever gotten, every court fine you've ever received, it's already been paid. You just paid it again. That's all, because you didn't know that your birth certificate is a bond worth over $100 million.
Oh wow!
Yep. And anytime, bro, if you go look at your your birth certificate, your social security card, your any form of ID, your driver's license, all your credit cards, all your name's written all in capital letters.
Yep.
And that's like an identification to them that you're a corporation, and they treat you like that.
You don't spell your name in all capital letters. Okay, you spell your name with a capital letter at the beginning. That's your proper name. The other one is your legal name. That's your straw man. That's your straw man. That's not really you. That's your legal fiction.
Legally. Oh.
This is why you don't want to be a citizen of the United States. You don't want to be a citizen of the United States. Okay, that means that you're a member of the federal corporation known as the United States in Washington, D.C. This is why you declare yourself a citizen, and then whatever state you live in, you're considered a resident. Not a native, a resident, because you are a U.S. citizen, which makes you the property of the corporation of the United States, which I might add was registered in London on July the 3rd, 1776, a full day before the Declaration of Independence was even signed. And
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
We've never been free. We've never been free of England. This is why they call it the Great Experiment.
Jesus Christ. I never knew any of that.
Yeah, bro. There's paperwork you can fill out, and you opt out, and you become a national.
A national. That's why I don't consider myself an American. I'm a Virginian.
Are you a national?
Virginian national, yeah.
Nice.
I'm a Virginian too. I'm a former, I guess. Shit, I'm from New York, man. I live in Virginia now. I'm here right now. Golly.
Whereabouts? Maybe
I'm in yeah, I'm right next to Warrenton.
Oh, no shit. You ain't too far. I'm over next to Luray.
Oh man, you south of me. Okay. Luray's a real nice area. Okay. Hey, we need to link up. We need to use that that CIA operative app. That's cool, holy smoke. Okay. Wow. Okay. Damn, man, you're dropping a lot of good game, guys. I hope if you have a sovereign soul, if you got a channel, man, I'm going to subscribe to you, and I'm going to subscribe to everybody else. I think Vikka, I've already subscribed to you as well, guys. Start subscribing to this guy, man. He's got some really good information, and start subscribing to all these other guys. I mean, we need to keep contact and understanding of one another, but man, you're dropping some really good knowledge on us that I didn't even know. What you're talking about, I thought I saw something like that in this Admiralty law book that they have on Amazon. And again, it's one of those books that's like $150. You know what I'm saying? Cost all this money. And I'm like, there's probably some good stuff in there. I haven't purchased it yet, but I've never heard of Black's Law. That's probably something that I might need to consider buying as well.
Absolutely. Try if you can, and it's not going to be cheap, but try if you can to get the 4th edition. That's the best one. That's the best one. And over in the private chat, and this goes for the rest of you as well. I'm better just text me or something. There's my phone number, and I also put the link to my channel down there. I don't have a wrench, so if one of y'all that does have a wrench wants to put that, not my phone number, but the YouTube link over into the regular chat, that would be really cool too. Thanks a lot, Iron. But yeah, that would be really cool. You know the Truthers Hour of Comedy? Do you know THC?
Yeah, he's over there in Virginia Beach, Mike.
Yeah, he's over on Virginia Beach.
I was just thinking of him. I was going to mention him. That's funny.
So check it out. I just came up with a great idea. All right, so dig this. The Dwarfinators are coming to Woodstock. Okay?
The Dwarfinators.
Yeah, it's a midget wrestling troupe. And they're coming to the Woodstock Fairgrounds. We went last year, and it was a blast.
Oh, God.
We had such a blast. And these guys, they come out in the audience, and they're fighting, wrestling out in the middle of the audience and shit. It's fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, my goodness. The midget wrestling. Oh, man.
My friend, another friend of mine lives over in Fredericksburg. I was texting him. I sent him the information about it. And I says, do you want to go? And he says, hang on a second. He says, yeah, I guess we're going. He says, he says, who wants to go see midgets wrestle? And his 3-year-old just whipped his eyes around, mouth full of milk, just whipped his head around, eyes real big, and goes, I do.
Yeah, I need to check Woodstock. Wait, where's Woodstock at?
They're over in Shenandoah County.
Oh, okay. All right.
Over in Shenandoah County,
Right.
right there. It's north of Newmarket.
Newmarket. Okay. All right. That's like an hour. Okay, that's like it's almost 2 hours from me. I need to scope that out.
Yeah, we're
right.
not.
Yeah, man.
I don't even think it's that far from you because the fact that you're in Warrenton, we're only about an hour, maybe an hour and 15.
An hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an hour. Yep.
So Woodstock's like northwest of us. So it would be fair for you.
Okay.
Hey, I want to say thanks to Robin in the chat. She's putting up a bunch of links for you guys. Thank you, Robin.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Hear a
amazing.
lot. Yeah,
Amazing.
she's great.
And also that's kind of something that I do as well. I hold like a True Earth Tuesday every Tuesday, and lately what I've been doing is I've been dropping a lot of channels that I watch, right? Like John Thor just dropped some material just now. If you guys aren't subscribed to John Thor, that's pretty much what I do. And at the top of each of my description boxes after each show, I'll for the most part I'll put all the channels that I watch. I might miss one or two, but then I'll include them in the next week. So this is something that I've been starting to do just so I could get everyone around to starting to, subscribe to these guys, subscribe to you guys. Now that I've met you guys, I'm going to subscribe to you guys. And I'm basically going to be running the same thing every week, every Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Putting you guys on blast, getting you guys some subscribers, showing you guys some love, but at the same time, getting people that are new to the understanding and the truth of the True Earth, starting to see different perspectives, right? Starting to get different looks of everybody's perspective of the True Earth, but from putting your stink on it. So I want people not to get it only from me, but to get it from you guys as well.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, I usually when I go live, I'll be going live. I'm going to set one up here in just a few minutes. Tonight I'm gonna, and I always pin a link up into the top of the chat. As long as you have conversational decorum, you're welcome to come on up. Please don't be drunk. I've had drunk people come on. I cannot deal with drunk people. But tonight I'm going to go over that Dave Weiss and Eddie Bravo on Alex Jones and cover on that one a little bit tonight. And
okay,
what's your channel, bro?
Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind, same as well. You can do a @ symbol SSUM 3690 will bring you to it too.
Okay, Sovereign Soul. I'm gonna sub.
Yeah, man. And like I said,
link
over in the private chat, I've put the my phone number and the link to my channel over in there too, so you can just click on it and go right to it or whatever. But yeah, that would be fun. We ought to get together and do some shit, man. That'd be great. You're not that far away, man.
Hell yeah. No, definitely got to do that. I'm gonna hit you up right now.
There we go.
Make this a reality.
Hey guys, I want to say this is the kind of stuff that's awesome. This is why we're doing this, to get everybody together, have unity in this community, so we can come to some concrete decisions about what's going on around us. And this is great stuff, man. Glad to have you all here with us tonight, guys.
Oh yeah.
This is exactly what they don't want us to do.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Awesome. Got you. All right. So, man, I'd hate to be the first one to bust the dam, but I'm going to have to break up out of here because I'm headed into the country right now, and you're really going to see me get all robot voiced up. So, Vikka, I really appreciate you for putting this together and making this happen. Let's link up again. I got with you on the what's that thing with the triangle, the Telegram. I got with you on the Telegram group. And yeah, however which way you want to set it up, whatever, I'm all in. And whoever's in there, if you're all in, let's be serious about this. Let's not take this as a joke, and let's make this craziness happen, man. Too many lies going around, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, man.
Cool, bro.
Oh
Good
yeah,
to have
brother,
you, man.
absolutely. Thanks for bringing it up. Thanks for making the initiation, because today we started this group to make this project happen. I already made you an admin, brother. So
Appreciate
we
you.
will start expanding on that. Share this group with people who are be part of this project, small or big contribution, but there should be some kind of contribution. Only that people can join, and we try to build it from there, brother. And thanks for being here and for sparking that light and fire. Right, we know all who can sense it know that this needs to be done. So thank you, brother, for being here.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you,
In
Vika, and
contact.
thank you for having me. Thank you. All right,
Okay.
brothers. I'll see you guys.
Absolutely.
I'll be if you guys sub, check me out this Tuesday, True Earth Tuesday. I'll be live around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you can make it, fantastic. We're gonna talk about some fringe, very, very sensitive topics. That's all I'm gonna say right now. I really don't want to put too much out there, but it's gonna be very, very sensitive. Very
Cool,
sensitive.
man. Looking forward. I
right.
hope to be there.
Hey, Iron,
All right.
Iron, I subbed you
See you,
and I
brother.
put you on the wiki. So nice to meet you.
Oh, likewise. No longer on the ball. And thanks for coming. I appreciate you, man. All right, brothers. I'm out.
Take care.
Check you next
later,
time, bro.
man.
See you.
Good to
Peace.
see you, man.
All right.
There we go. Cool. I got him now.
That guy, the bad guy.
Yeah.
Seems like
Good
every
stuff,
time
guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
So
just
also
got.
I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to tell
Say
people.
thank
I was
you.
like, look, if there's a lot of you out there that you know the truth, you know what's going on, but some of you're afraid to say anything, right? And one of the first steps in that is you got to stop giving a shit what people think about it, because look, these people are under a spell. That literally under a magic spell to believe a complete inversion of reality. Okay. So don't get angry with them, even though they may get angry with you. Don't get angry with them. It's just a symptom of their illness. Okay. And then you can move from there, you know?
Oh
But
yeah.
don't let that ridicule get
Absolutely.
you. No,
That's what, brother. That's why we call our podcast Heliopsychosis, because it's a psychosis.
yes.
You are showing them the facts and they don't want to see it. It
Mm-mm.
has to be some kind of psychosis. Hey, Riku, brother, how are you? A big truther from Finland, defender of our true round. Riku, how are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting back there. I got attacked big time for various subjects. One of them, of course, being this what we are not talking in general, but also the others. So it's you have to learn to rest, not to quit. That's a meme I've been throwing around in my head lately.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Rest, don't
Nice,
quit.
nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking hot here in Mexico. The monkeys apparently, through the mainstream media, they're saying the monkeys are dying in the forest. But I don't know. I haven't seen any monkeys, but maybe they're all dead. But the mangoes are ripening and all that. But it's really getting hot here.
It's evolution. It's evolution
Yeah.
going on. Yeah. They're gonna, a couple of them will turn into people, and they'll be all. You'll be all right. So, yeah.
Well, I have to say they are spraying the skies here very heavily. I just put yesterday on my channel. There's like fucking 10 stripes, direct stripes going right above our balcony there. So I put it on my shorts. It's fucking ridiculous what they're doing with the weather, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's the weather.
It's a conspiracy theory, right? And here we've got damn states here in the United States, like Tennessee, banning A conspiracy theory. In other words, they're banning chemtrails that apparently don't exist except for when you make laws against them. I don't know how that works either. There's part of that psychosis, Vikka. There it is right there, man.
Well,
That's part of that psychosis.
there's two things. There's geoengineering, and then there's chemtrails. Chemtrails is the conspiracy theorist terminology. That conspiracy is that the government is spraying poisonous chemicals on this population, and that one, of course, is seen as the although it's probably true, that one's the conspiracy theory. But it's damn the truth that they do modify the weather, and they're open about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've been modifying weather forever, man.
Sure. They have cloud seeding. They have HARP. HARP just had something to do with the Northern Lights last month, or earlier this last month, whatever.
That's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. Do you believe that? I don't believe it.
I don't know. They're up to something, man. And you know, they saw those lights all the way too far south for it to be a ball. First of all, and they said they were doing something. So maybe.
Did you?
The thing is, I know that they would love for people to think that they have the power to do some of the shit that we're witnessing, and I don't believe that they do. I really don't. And
like what?
What I mean, like electromagnetic iridescence, like we're seeing.
You don't think they can do that?
Way into the south. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I never saw it. I went outside all the time. People were posting all these pictures. And then the next thing I hear is, oh, well, you have to use a camera to be able to see it. And I'm like, well, isn't that interesting? You know, so I didn't see anything other than a faint glow toward the north over the horizon, which could easily be mistaken for a cloud. I did not see these colors that everybody said that there was. And I went out there like, I don't know what the fuck you people are taking pictures of, but I'm not seeing it. You know?
We got a picture down here in California of it.
So, you know, the HARP, that's old hat shit. Yeah, they've been using it in conjunction with moving weather fronts around by seeding with various different metals. Aluminum, barium, things like that. They react to the high frequency radar, heat and cool the various.
And the barium and strontium are two. Barium and strontium are two main ingredients for high tech holograms too.
Yeah, that's what they put out to run their screen for the hologram.
Project Bluebeam, maybe.
I think that because I'm seeing shit like. Never before in my life had I ever seen a smiley face moon until just the last year or so. I mean, I look up and here's a crescent moon that's like a bowl and not up on its side like it always has been my entire freaking life, right? Yep. There shall be signs in the heavens and in the earth with those with eyes to see and the ears to hear. I don't think this is people doing this. I mean, this coupled along with Mandela effect.
Well, the moon is different from the aurora borealis. The aurora could have been caused by gases they dumped out there. I wouldn't be surprised about that. And there's some kind of magnetic field up there that gets stronger and stronger. It seems so. I don't know what particulates can do what with that kind of magnetism in the air. You know, but I don't know how to turn the moon around sideways though, 90 degrees.
Yeah,
I don't know about how they're doing that.
Really look at the direction of the eclipse. The way it came this year, when in April, that was fucking bass backwards. I mean, there's just so many little things, and I'm looking at them. Are these signs? Are these the signs and wonders that everybody's always talking about? And there are some really unexplainable stuff, and especially like when you come to the Mandela effect's one thing, but when you see how it's affected Scripture, holy crap! Now I'm not a Christian.
Oh, when it went from the lamb to the wolf kind of thing?
Yeah, not just that, but God's name changing to jealous.
What?
Yeah. Look in Exodus. I
don't read the Bible, man.
Yeah, in Exodus, listen to this. And then it was always Jehovah, right? And now in Exodus it says, I have it highlighted. Just a minute. Yeah, it says here in Exodus, what is it? 34:14. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, with a capital J, is a jealous God. Isn't that crazy? It's almost blasphemous. I mean, a lot of these things that have changed in here, and the one that's concerning, because it used to say the lion will lie with the lamb. Now it says the wolf will dwell with the lamb. What's the first thing comes to your mind? A wolf in sheep's clothing, perhaps?
I think the dwelling is in the mind of the sick people that they're getting in there.
But see, this is what's so crazy. How does that change when it's been sitting on my shelf?
What's that?
How does it change when it's been sitting on my shelf? It's not like I went and got a new one and that's what it says now. I'm talking about Bibles that I've had in my possession that have changed.
Did you read that before? Did you see that word? You saw that word 5 years ago? And now you read that word and it's changed inside your house?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It always said that God's name was Jehovah and he is a jealous God.
Right.
Now,
and you don't think they can cause the lights in the sky?
What? No, I don't think it's they at all. Now, this is completely supernatural. Let me tell you something. When I was going through these different Mandela effects in this Bible, I had just highlighted that passage. Now, it's the same in all my other Bibles, but I got this one in particular at the thrift store. It's a Gideon's Bible. And I got this one at the thrift store specifically so I could mark it up with highlighters, right? So I just got done marking that and highlighting that. And when I went to flip the pages looking for something else, this piece of paper fell out of it that was in the book when I purchased it, obviously used as some kind of a little bookmark by the previous owner. And on it is written Psalm 83:18. And I was like, wonder what that is. So I turned to Psalm 83:18, and what's it say? That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah, art the most high over the earth. And I was like, what's the odds that I just got done highlighting that Mandela effect of God's name? This falls out of the Bible and directs me right to a passage telling me what his real name is. Is that that's a coincidence? It's like a 1 in a billion right there.
Interesting. You know, when I hear stuff like this, I nowadays I automatically think that there was a breakaway society along 1400, 2000 years ago who were able to make the Antikythera mechanism, who had systems of gears working in far advanced than anything we have today. So to think that what the gear has done in the past 600 years for society versus what a secret society could have done with the gear system and understanding that that way of understanding technology, they could probably have ink that could change every book written. That one word will change on a certain date in every book. I think that technology could be something like that. I wouldn't put it past these people to enslave humanity and to keep things the way they have it. That they have a lot of stuff. You know, we think they're 50 or 100 years ahead of us. No, they're like well over 1,000 years ahead of us. So what the capabilities bring from 1,000 years from now, I can't even imagine 10 years from now the way things are advancing. So yeah, I could picture some sort of technology being available in the future that could change something in the past.
Well,
I don't see why not.
That's the whole thing. We have residue, though. You see, this is the thing. We have residue. For instance, let's take Isaiah 11:6. Very, very popular, well-known verse, right?
Yeah.
We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of artifacts like tombstones for children with a lion and a lamb quoting Isaiah 11:6. We've got hundreds of lion and lamb ministries all around the world. We've got stained glass windows at places and statues, all depicting a lion and a lamb. None depicting a wolf and a lamb, but they depict the lion and the lamb. Why do we still have those if it's always
Maybe
been
they
the
haven't
wolf.
caught up to it yet. I don't know.
That's
How did the words change, though? People all over the world getting the same word change in all the Bibles. How'd that
it
happen?
gradually took place because it started in the KJV and it's migrated even into the Hebrew texts now.
All right, still, the question is, how does that happen? That sounds
That's
like advanced
exactly right.
technology to me.
That's not. It's supernatural. Absolutely supernatural. There is no way in heaven and earth to go around and do that other than physically doing it.
Well,
And
that's
specific words that seem to be working out in a pattern. There's a pattern of missing T's. There's a pattern of blackness. There's a pattern of something to do with Germany. There's a whole bunch of things within this whole Mandela effect. C3PO, what's he now changed? What changed on him? It's silver now.
silver leg.
Silver. He used to have what? A golden calf. Isn't that an interesting analogy of that? But as I'm going along, I'm looking at these similarities and these patterns. The big toy company in New York, Tom Hanks starred in a movie called Big, where he got a job there. It was called FAO Schwartz. That is now changed to Schwarz. The T is missing. There's another aspect of a T gone.
Yeah.
What does Schwartz mean in German? It means black. Okay.
So you think the Mandela effect is supernatural?
Absolutely. It's showing that reality is fluid. Absolutely. I don't see where any
it's like a
man
simulation
would
of
have
some
the
kind.
intelligence to go
What?
and change specific things to a point where it would not only within the Bible cause them to be blasphemous, but to change specific references. For instance, like Moses, he no longer brings, what did he bring down from the mountain? Do you remember?
No.
Tablets, right?
Tablets, yeah.
Now they're tables of stone and not tablets of stone. There's the T is gone. The dove that came back to Noah, what did he bring to let him know that there was land?
A branch of an olive.
No, now it's a leaf. Somebody took the whole branch. Ha! I mean, this is some crazy stuff that's going on. But when I say blasphemous, there's even for the first time something that would only make sense in this day and age. And that's now there's winky emojis in there. Nowhere in punctuation does anybody ever go semicolon parentheses, but now there's several instances of that which would only make sense in this day and age as a winky emoji. It's not grammatically correct at all.
Well, it's like that lion or something laying with the lion, the lamb laying with the lion or something.
Right,
You know,
the lion and the lamb, Isaiah 11:6.
Yeah, that's one of those things where that's what they showed you in children's church. Even though the verse has always said that it was the wolf or the whatever and the lion, it wasn't the lamb in the Bible, but they showed you that picture growing up.
So you mean to tell me that hundreds and thousands of pastors and ministers who named their thing Lion and Lamb Ministries, all these expensive stained glass windows, sculptures, tombstones, and everything were all built off of a mistake and nobody caught it until just recently? That don't make any sense.
Doesn't make much sense for sure, but it's a good story. You know, the lion and the lamb, it's a better story. It's cute and fluffy. It sticks with you better.
It doesn't even say that the wolf will lie with the lamb. It says that it will dwell with the lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what's that telling you? It's like, hey, I don't trust that. But it's not just those things alone. There's more. The Lord's Prayer, even little innocuous things. It used to say, "Our Father who art in heaven." Now it says, "Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." It now says, not on earth as it is in heaven. It says, in earth as it is in heaven. And now instead of saying, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us," it says, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." Now, here's the problem.
That sounds like the feds.
The next verse right after that prayer explains it and says, "If you forgive a man his trespasses," and it's like, wait a second, you didn't say anything about trespasses. You said debts.
Mhm.
So the residue to that's right there in the scripture.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is, I'm not an expert here, but I think part of the problem is there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of translations of the Bible. And not only that, let's just say the King James. That one's been modified multiple times. Which King James?
I go back right to the very original one. I have an original 1611.
Yeah,
King James.
1611,
Yeah.
2020, edition. The pre-pandemic edition of the of the Bible. I mean, they probably change stuff, every so often.
No,
And
it's,
then
you actually, and you go in and read the notes of the translator. That if you can get your hands on one, it's a valuable resource to get a replica, at least, of the original 1611 King James Bible. You get a lot more out of it, especially if you understand how language works and what letters are actually pictographs. And it's really amazing. You start seeing that even in Genesis, the letters of the first verses actually depict creation in a pictorial fashion. But yeah, really some interesting stuff, man.
So guys, we're gonna go walk with that guy there, and then the family. So it's about like 6 p.m. But thanks for coming in, and we talk in a week.
Nice meeting you.
Oh
Thanks,
yeah,
Rico.
Rico will be our guest for next week. So looking forward for that. Flat
Looking
Earth
forward, brother.
Finland. And thanks for passing by. We are almost gonna be wrapping for tonight because it's almost 2:30 a.m. for me, and I wish we could go on for a few hours, but so that's the only reason. I would love this to continue, but it's too late for me. So we might be having our last thoughts here. Whoever wants to, Rico, if you want to last thoughts before you go.
Last thoughts before I go. Okay. Gonna take a piss and then we go out. That's my last thoughts.
Nice.
See you guys.
Have fun.
Hey, brother. Good
See you
to
next
see
week.
Man.
Yeah, all
Looking
right. See you.
forward.
See you next
See you
week.
all. Thank you, man.
Bye. All right. So yeah, I also wanted to mention before that no longer ball. I wanted to thank you for the page you made, and also for linking the two documentaries. This is the first time we are speaking like almost on a panel, so really wanted to thank you for that, and for the page in itself. It's an awesome, so great job.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to get on here for a while now, but been busy and stuff. So yeah, you're very welcome. I'm happy to share whatever I can, because it's you guys are the legends, and you are the ones I'm thankful for. And in appreciation, that's why I've been building this damn monstrosity, is to get the word out, to help you guys. That information that's on that wiki can help you guys perhaps someday. You're looking for a subject or something to show, or research or whatever. That's a great big repository of all kinds of gravy. Definitely, I appreciate what you've done.
No, I have to. Damn it.
But yeah, someday.
Brother, we all.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, someday if possible, I'd like to show you that page Saab was talking about earlier about the NASA. I'd love to do a presentation with you on that one. That's some creepy ass stuff.
Yeah, man.
NASA is a
bodega.
It's DARPA. It's just the wing of DARPA. That's it. It's a money laundering outfit for DARPA.
Yep.
That's what you end up finding out.
Well, no longer on the ball. Maybe we can hook up after the show, and we can book you for a date, and you can do something with us. We can dedicate a show for you, brother.
Okay, well, sure. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. I'll hang tight.
All right, so cool. Well, after we hang up, don't hang up. Stay on the show. We'll close out the show and then we'll talk afterwards.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you. Much
Awesome.
love.
Yeah, same
All
here,
right.
brother.
And
Thank you.
same goes for Sovereign also. All right. So you want last thoughts before you guys?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I just got done setting up my live. It's set up for 9:35. So if anybody wants to come over and check that out, be sure and check it out. Other than that, great show. Thanks for having me on, Vikka. This is a great. Am I saying that correctly? Is it Vikka or Vikka? It's Vikka, isn't it?
Vikka.
Okay, yeah, it's a small, short consonant or short vowel with the two consonants. Got it right. So right, it's not a common name here in America. We've got Bill and Mike and Fred and shit like that. So that's a new one for me. But thanks for having me on.
Thanks for jumping on, brother.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gene, brother.
Yeah, guys, what a great conversation tonight, man. Everyone in the chat was going crazy. It was great to see you guys. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. Ironworks. We got to get to. We'll talk more. During the week, and we'll get that Antikythera mechanism going, guys. It's, no longer on the ball. Thank you so much for showing up, and looking forward to booking something with you soon. And you can make a nice presentation of whatever's on your mind, brother. Looking forward to that. And Sovereign Soul, thanks for coming back again, bro. That was a cool conversation. I don't know what to think about the Mandela. It's something I mean, obviously all kind of aware something's going on with it, but I haven't jumped too deep into it. So yeah, I would like to hear some more about that, man. And I'm
check
looking
out
forward.
Dose of Reality Show. Check out the Dose of Reality Show. Brian Staveley.
Brian Staveley,
like the godfather of all this crap, man. I'm telling you. Also, C3PO's Golden Calf is another great channel.
All right.
There's
I'm friends with him on Facebook, and
Wake Up
it's
or
definitely a lot more of that stuff than meets the eye, though. It's not all, sent to you in the mail, let's say, right? It's you got to kind of look for it, or else they're hiding stuff when you're not looking. And when you go back a week later, it's different. You don't realize it. And interesting stuff. So
if you look into it enough, you're going to get a, oh my God, Q moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You'll run across one like the one with my wife I was like, who was that used to go around with the prize patrol and pass out those great big checks? Always with those big checks. Who was that guy?
Yeah, right. I can't think of anyone. Chuck Woolery, but I could see the guy's face.
Everybody.
Oh, wait a second! It was Ed McMahon, right?
Yeah.
Nope, never was. You remember it. I remember it. My wife remembers it. Thousands of other people remember Ed McMahon going around and giving out big checks for Publishers Clearinghouse, but apparently he's never even worked for them. Yeah. No, here's what's crazy. He did a parody rap video with Snoop Dogg, but I'm not sure who it was. Anyway, the whole thing of the parody was that he was broke and he was going around to these people's houses in the prize patrol van and collecting back the checks.
Oh man.
So why would he do that if he never did it? Okay, who was the guy that did all the exercise? He was kind of flamboyant, a little light in the loafers, and he go, okay, girls, fat, let's go. You remember?
Richard Simmons.
Describing to me.
Like you say, he's in like a leotard, got curly hair. I don't know.
Yeah, headband, wristbands.
Maybe.
Yeah, everybody remembers headbands and wristbands, but apparently he never had those now.
All right.
So there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the woman that played Forrest Gump's mother? She was in Smokey and the Bandit. She was the flying nun.
Oh, Sally Field.
Yeah. Now it's Field. Used to be Sally.
He said the flying nun. I'm showing my age.
Now I'm gonna go. This will be in your wheelhouse. Her name has changed. Forrest Gump the movie has changed.
What's her name? Sally Field.
It is now Field. It used to be Fields. Okay, so check this out. Her brother is one of the top researchers at CERN.
Yeah, right. The nepotism shows sooner or later.
So what's he tell that a woman on the park bench? He says, Mama always said life is life. What is it? What's the rest of the line?
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, but now he
Nah.
says life was like a box of chocolates. Like it's not anymore. Mama always said life was, but on the box to the movie, the quote still says is like a box of chocolates.
We all being played, guys. We are all being played because this is technology. This is technology that we can't even imagine that exists, right? And we
Yeah,
are being
bro.
part of this technology. Thank you, everybody, for being here, guys. That was an awesome conversation. I loved it, and amazing conversation. One of the best things that happened is that we are taking this initiative to start this Antikythera mechanism device and model, right? So whoever's really resonates with that, do join our group and be a part of it. Thank you, So and Soul. Thank you, No Longer on a Ball, Gene, brother, and everybody in the chat, and also Ironwork for being here. See you guys next week with Riku Suran, and soon with No Longer on the Ball too. Bye, guys. See you soon. This is Vikka Draziv signing out. Bye, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Night.
All right, just the intro. Bye.